4, 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, it's been a while. As you can see, the virus has set us back when it comes to the masks and, well, our backdrop.
But we have no lives and we've been quarantined for quite some time. But we are back. Rona is over. Has left Utah. We're back.
The crossover show starts right now.
Bad idea.
He's singing the hymns. He's trying to get started.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the crossover show. I'm Jesse Valdez alongside with Eric Mateos. And before we get into the giveaway, which one giveaway of many, we're going to announce who won that, the $100 Visa gift card. We're going to talk a little bit about where you get your news from.
I get my news through memes. So once something goes viral, that's how I figure it out. And that's how I finally go Google it myself and figure it out. And I think that's better than following CNN or Fox, whatever you follow.
And there's a lot of back history into memes that, like, sometimes I don't even understand until you tell me.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The memes always feed me with what I need to know and what I missed out on. So as soon as memes come out, you know something important happened.
One of the memes has to do with the whole MMA, boxing, some YouTuber making MMA look like crap, basically.
Yes. Yeah, we got to go viral with that because that's the way we become famous now. But yeah, Jake Paul, Ben Askren had a fight, and it's his third W pretty much. And he fought a wrestler. And, you know, he's a Olympic gold medalist, but there's some problems with that. A UFC fighter wanted to ask Freddie Roach, because he was training with Freddie Roach.
I was going to say, that's a legend.
And that's a legend.
A legend.
You know, he's trained Manny Pacquiao, he's trained Mayweather. And he went and called him and asked, hey, is Ben Askren taking this serious? And Freddie Roach pretty much replied and said, yeah, he came in for a week and left, never showed up. Like, what the hell?
So Freddie Roach is over here training legends and saying, oh, this guy didn't take it serious. Knocked him out, basically.
Yeah,
and then, I mean, that was, I mean,
round.
he even went against Nate Robinson, right?
Yeah, Nate Robinson, which is an NBA player. And, you know, he's
And you remember those.
but he's not a boxer either, you know what I mean? But it was sad.
So basically, he's fighting people. This YouTuber is just fighting people to fight, fighting nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, not nobodies, but like.
Yeah, he's just fighting amateurs, like what he is, but he actually does box, which is, you know, sad, but whatever.
Another meme to go into to get a little bit of the back history, what we like to call the meme feed, the Gorilla Glue lady.
Oh my God, that's a mess. So
Literally.
she decided to. She was tired of the other gels. I guess they were sold out at her store. I don't know how she showed up at the freaking. What do you call it?
The warehouse, the warehouse department.
The warehouse department, the lumber department. I don't know. And she decided to buy Gorilla Glue to use for her hair. And she's like, yeah, I don't recommend this. I'm like, really? She used Gorilla Glue, not gel, Gorilla Glue, and put it on her hair, and she had it on for a month. And she couldn't get it off. She used all these shampoos, tried to take it off. She couldn't do it. Finally, she went to the hospital and she got like some weird surgery. And they had like some special chemicals to take it off of her head. And now she wants to sue.
And that's what I don't understand. So not only that, so she got set up like some GoFundMe to help her out. And that wasn't enough. She had to go and sue Gorilla Glue saying, hey, this gel that's not even supposed to go in my hair.
Never said it was for hair products.
Yeah.
They never said it was for hair use.
And it's like, oh, I'm just going to use a little bit and see what, oh, you don't want to mess with Gorilla Glue. Yeah. So homegirl, I don't know what's going on with her, but speaking of gorillas.
Oh, Godzilla versus Kong, how was it?
Godzilla versus Kong. So this is basically our childhood. It's something we've been waiting for forever. You know what I mean? Like I've been waiting for something like this forever. And Godzilla versus Kong.
He's gonna give me hate, but I loved the 1999 version of it. The American version where Godzilla shows up to New York and destroys it or whatever. And he hates it, but I grew up with it. I was a kid. I liked it.
I'm not gonna say I hated it, but it was definitely Americanized. Like
Yes, it was.
Godzilla
You're
looked
right.
like on some kind of anorexic or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And fast forward, let's go to, I think it was 2016, 2015 era,
Yes.
when the new kind of era of Godzilla came. 3 hours long, you know, the whole time it was like, oh, well, it got homeboy from Breaking Bad, which died in the very beginning. And then you don't even see Godzilla until like the very end of this Titanic movie. And Godzilla's like this big old obese capybara.
With the size of a popcorn kernel as a head. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? He used to have a big head.
I do not recommend that one, but this new one I do recommend. It's 100 times better than the 90s version, American one you're talking about,
Yeah.
and better than that. To me, it was a flop. Other one.
Is it action-packed then?
It's action-packed, and it has a story. I mean, the story isn't necessarily built off of the humans. It's more built off of, you know, the monsters themselves.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, it was a great movie. The only thing that I would say, I'm not going to give anything away, but the only thing I would say is I like the traditions, right?
Oh, yeah, I get that.
The traditional Godzilla roar. Where was it?
Yeah.
Where was it? And I'm not going to try to imitate that to you right now, but
Even in the 99 version, they had that.
yeah, and it wasn't there. And the screech, you know, the screech that Godzilla makes, it wasn't there.
Was it more like a Jurassic Park style?
It was
or
just
what?
like a roar. Yeah, it was just like a roar.
Oh,
Like it wasn't the
that's pretty
Godzilla.
whack.
Oh, you weren't like, oh yeah, that's the Godzilla roar. No,
Yeah.
it was just a roar. I was like, okay, it's the little things that I need that bring me
Yeah.
back, you know.
The
and
nostalgia. Of
yeah,
it.
and then you look at, I mean, with technology, CGI, and all that, I mean, it's getting better, but to me, it makes things look more fake. And it just watching the water drip off of King Kong, it just did not.
Looks
it
like a
didn't-
video game to you,
It
right?
didn't look good. It
Yeah.
did not look good. But
I
I,
get
mean,
that. I get
besides those small things that are just like I said, the little traditions that I wished that I would have saw more. This is the thing too. Like I know this is. I mean, obviously they wouldn't do this, but like the old Godzillas, Godzilla would be walking in the water, right?
Oh, yeah,
Right
yeah.
side up, you know, just walking in the water.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, they could have had Godzilla starting walking in the water and then dive in and start swimming. But no, Godzilla would just swim in the whole time. I was like, I needed to see Godzilla at least walk in the water for half a second, straight up, you know?
Yeah.
But other than that, I would recommend to go look at that. But, so yeah, go check out Godzilla. Now we're getting to the good stuff, Eric.
Yeah, what's that?
The good stuff. So, if you've been watching all of our shows, following us on our Facebook, YouTube, website, whatever it is, we do giveaways and we do them consistently. Well, this is the $100 Visa gift card giveaway, which we have
Right here.
right here.
I'm going to be picking it out. He's putting me in the corner.
So, we're going to shake it up. So, again, this is one of many giveaways we'll be doing throughout the year, and we'll continue, you know, come next year, they're gonna get better and better and better.
Yeah. Now that
Huge.
everything's opening up.
Now that everything's opening up. So here is to that lucky person. And like I said, to enter, all they had to do really is, you know, comply to our Facebook rules towards our images and our promo video that was pinned to the website, tag 3 friends, blah, 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 and you're entered to win. As well as you could double your chances just by watching our shows. All you had to do was watch our shows and look for the magic word, which was
Baller.
That's it. And then, I mean, you could have yourself entered
Very easy.
10 times if you wanted to. All you had to do was watch us, two ugly people, you know, presenting it.
We got multiple.
We got multiple, so, I mean, their chances are high. Let's see. All right, Eric,
Here's the grand winner.
read the number out for us.
This is hard. The number is 726447.
726447. That is 726447. You have to watch this show to be able to win it. So if you watch it and you claim your prize, you win the $100 Visa gift card. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the new home for our content.
Yeah, MCETV.net. It's our new website, and we got articles, and we got our videos are going to be home there too, just in case Facebook tries to censor us. It's a great place to get all our information and get the news that we care about or that we're trying to promote.
Exactly. It's going to be the new home. That's where you're going to be able to conduit all of our content. Social media will always be there, but it'll kind of be like the conduit, the portal to get you to our website. And not only that, is like I said, our next giveaway is actually going to be a Best Buy gift card.
Yes.
So $100 Best Buy gift card, and anybody that continues to watch our show and look out for whatever that magic word is will win. Or look out for the pinned post on our Facebook page. That's how you can also be eligible to win. Or subscribe to our website, MCETV.net. If you subscribe to that website, we will automatically enter you in. And that's for the first 100 subscribers to that website.
Also, sign up for the newsletter to get our updates as soon as possible.
Please do so. Other than that, I think that's it, Eric.
Yeah, well, we did good. We're got everything out, and can't wait for the next one and see what next viral meme comes out.
Oh yeah. Again, thank you for watching the Crossover Show. Follow us on MCETV.net. Until then, I'm Jesse Valdez.
And I'm Eric Mateos.
Crossing you over and plugging you into everything that matters. Welcome to Media Crossover Entertainment, plugging you into everything that matters. I'm Jesse Valdez.
I'm Eric Mateos.
And we have a special message for the viewers. Yeah. We are looking, I mean, you guys seen our Facebook page. It goes from everything from viral videos to memes. Yeah. You know, Eric over here is our meme king, you know, even though he's been kind of slacking a little bit over the past few days. But, so we're looking for some editors to help run our page. And basically, we're just looking for like passionate people.
Yeah.
Passionate people, whether that is to, like you're saying, maybe throw out some memes, or passionate people to get out their own content. If you have an idea, we want you on board. We need some editors. And I mean, Eric, tell them like what you do, basically.
I usually like find the funniest memes I can find. Sometimes I try to make my own. Just whatever I find funny. It might be a little crude, might be a little innocent, but we put it up and try to see if anyone likes it or not.
But it doesn't necessarily, it could be like video games, it could be sports.
Games, anything that's popular. I mean, if anything fails, anything loses, it's gonna be funny. Anyone's gonna make fun of it, so that works for that. But not only that, we like to put out news, stuff that people may not be talking about much, something that you want to put out there in the light for people to talk about or know about. Any type of news or any type of technology, video games, whatever.
Anything. Like we said, we're looking for passionate people to help run our page. It could be anything from video games, news, politics, tech, anything. It's a wide variety to either just do, just to edit and throw those videos on, pictures on, memes on, to if you have original content that you want to get out to the world, but you don't have a source to get it out. Media Crossover Entertainment can be that source to get it out, because not only will we be helping you get the audience and build traffic to what you're doing that you're passionately involved with, but you'll be helping us build some original content for our page. So share the word, get it out there. Like I said, we're looking for editors, and we'll be happy to get you on board.
Yep.
Salt Lake City, Utah, and I love to box because it's really fun. You get to do all these stuff, and each time you do it, you get better. I like doing mitts. It's where somebody holds up the mitts and they tell you what you have to do, and you have to punch the mitts. Yeah. It's like really fun, and at the end you get to go very fast, and this makes it really, really fun. My dad started doing it, so I wanted to do it. He always helps me with keeping my hands straight. I would say to just keep on trying your hardest.
Liberating you from imprisonment of oppression, setting you free from the system. Open your mind, always question more. This is the Liberator. Your liberators, Mateos and Valdez. Welcome to another episode of The Liberator. I am your host, Jesse Valdez, alongside with the legendary Eric Mateos. And today we are talking about the Afghanistan war. We have it slugged as we're damned if we do, and we're damned if we don't. To explain a little bit about this, and we actually had an article we sent out way back in July about President Bush, former President George W. Bush. Sorry about that. But it just talks about this long war that seemed to have, I didn't think it would ever end, honestly.
It's starting to feel like that.
Right. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. What do you feel about this whole war? Afghanistan. I mean, why were we there?
I mean, they say to nation build and to spread democracy and all that stuff, but a lot of other people say it's because they were taking hold of those poppy fields and selling it back to China. There's a bunch of rumors, I guess, or conspiracies, whatever you want to call them, the further reasons for us being there.
So weren't this all happened back in 2001, 9/11 happened. I mean, I thought we went there, war on terrorism kind of thing. And
well, yeah, but the thing is they did it pretty quickly. They destroyed Al Qaeda, which was Saudi Arabians and a couple Egyptians, and they took them out. And then all of a sudden they wanted to punish Afghanistan, even though they had nothing to do with 9/11. The only thing that they had was that the Al Qaeda was hiding in there, and then after they got rid of them, they decided to stay there, I guess.
I feel like it was all just kind of a scheme. Hey, we went here to go fight terrorism. Really, we wanted something to do with oil.
Oil, poppy seeds, all the natural minerals and stuff like that they got there.
Here's the thing. I've heard both sides, and I'm very confused on what the media is pushing or whatever. At first, I thought the ideology of it is why are we in this war to begin with? We've been in it for so long, trying to play the world police. It's been over 20 years, and we're still there. Like, what's going on? So I thought, okay, us backing out, about time, right? But now I'm seeing like memes and things of, oh, why did we back out? Our soldiers have died in vain. We just went there for nothing. Now our loved ones have just died for no reason. I mean, what would your take be on something like that? You're getting both sides of it. All of a sudden, one moment everyone's saying this one thing, and now the other moment it's like the exact opposite, and they're pissed that we're leaving.
I think it's all the negative imagery that they're showing is what's got people all kind of confused. So, I mean, you're leaving a country that you occupied for a while. I mean, the people weren't happy. You're killing their own family members and people and trying to set up your own, I guess, style of government that the American government thinks is right. And obviously that's not how they roll. That's not how they live. It's, that's how they want to live or how they control their country. This the majority opinion, and they don't like what they had going on. I mean, you can't do much about it. I mean, it was already not a great place to live and stuff like that, but you can't just force them to live the way you want to or whatever. At least that was their excuse. But yeah, the imagery looks bad, and then a lot of the neocon points is saying that, oh, we're leaving our allies back there and we're not defending them. We're pretty much betraying them. It's like, well, I mean, you can't take a whole country with you or a quarter of the country back with you. We shouldn't have been in the first place. We shouldn't have done what we did in the first place.
Let's check. Oh, go ahead, Eric.
No, I was just saying that it's a failed project that it really wasn't going to work out. the way they expected it to work out. You just can't change people's minds like that.
So if let's watch this and let's see if it kind of changes your mind, because I swear this is, I don't know if it's a push or what. This is why I was trying to get your take on it, but let's see what you think about this.
Są Aziz, متاسفانه برخورد یکی از برخورد خود گرفت.
We won't play the entire thing, but that's just kind of a glimpse of what do you think about that, Eric?
Well, yeah, it's hard to watch, and it's sad. But like I said, I mean, we weren't supposed to be there in the first place. We weren't supposed to do what they did. They weren't supposed to nation build, and now they, you know, they've created a somewhat of a lifestyle that some people were trying to adopt, but the country's still majority, Taliban, and they don't roll like that. So, I mean, obviously, those poor people, the ones that helped or were on the side of the U.S., are in big trouble, and now more than likely going to face death no matter what, because they see them as the enemy, and they don't, as betrayers as well, because they worked with the American government.
Let me show you this next this next image, okay? And this is what I mean about, I don't get where people's minds are. 1 minute they're saying this, the next minute they're saying that. This is just a meme, so you take it as it is. Right here. I don't know if you've seen this on Facebook.
No, I have not seen that. But
so basically, it's saying, somebody obviously died from, a loved one died in the Afghanistan war,
mhm.
and now there's sorrow. Oh man, you died for nothing, kind of thing.
Mm.
It's kind of hard. I get where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, we're letting Americans die for being there for almost 21 years, right? I feel like, and you know what? Homeboy said it the best. Gravel.
Mhm.
He said it the best about, and I'm gonna find that clip for us, where he says these guys are dying in vain, regardless.
Yeah.
Because he talks about the Vietnam War and saying, oh, well, if we back out of that or blah, 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 the soldiers would have died in vain. And he's like, but they're dying in vain right now. So I
Yeah.
feel like we've come to the point where it's okay. Like, I feel like Americans have settled and numbed themselves to be okay with the fact that soldiers are going to continue to die. They numb themselves. They're okay if soldiers die for another 20 years. Because we don't hear it on the news every day. So they're okay with that. But they're not okay with backing out. And now they're saying, well, so-and-so died in vain now because we backed out in that war. Now it was all for nothing. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but I feel like that war was all for nothing to begin with. And that has nothing against our soldiers and troops. They're Americans, the true Americans. And, like, all they were doing was fighting and trusting in, United States of America.
Exactly. They were sold the big lie, and they bought it, and it's unfortunate because they used our own people and a tragic event that happened in the U.S. soil. So obviously, who wouldn't want to try to fight for their country? Who wouldn't want to defend the freedom that we have here and all this stuff? So it is tragic, and people, they pretty much bought into it, and they invested their life into the cause, and then only to, and later on in the future, we find out that it wasn't really for fighting terrorism or anything like that. They just wanted to expand the empire and take resources away from a third world country and take advantage of the people there. So it's a hard and nasty truth to learn, and exiting a war is never easy. It's not going to be peaceful. It's um, whichever side wins. I mean, and even then, also Eisenhower had a good speech too, warning about the military-industrial complex, saying, we got to be careful because a lot of these people in the military, they just want to make money off of wars and never have peace, pretty much, because they don't make money that way. So we had been warned and we had been told to be careful, but stuff happens and then we overreact, and higher ups take advantage of it, and they tug at our hearts, and they know how to manipulate us because who doesn't want to fight for freedom? Who doesn't want to defend their families and get rid of evil? But the world isn't perfect.
Hey, let me show you this. So I found that clip because we did cover it. This is a true legend right here, but he makes the point that we were just talking about. Let's go ahead and listen in real quick, Eric.
You're right, I made that statement, but that's before I had a chance to stand with them three times. It's like going into the Senate. The first time you get there, you're all excited. My God, how did I ever get here? Then about 6 months later, you say,
it's coming. It's not this part, but it's coming.
And I got to tell you, after standing up with them, some of these people frighten me. They frighten me. When you have mainline candidates that turn around and say that there's nothing off the table with respect to Iran, that's code for using nukes, nuclear devices. I got to tell you, I'm President of the United States. There will be no preemptive wars with nuclear devices. To my mind, it's immoral, and it's been immoral for the last 50 years as part of American foreign policy.
Let's use a little moderator discretion here. Senator Gravel, that's a weighty charge.
Here it comes
Who on
right
this
here.
stage
It's
exactly
coming.
tonight worries you so much?
Well, I would say the top tier ones. The top tier ones. They've made statements. Oh, Joe, I'll include you too. You have a certain arrogance. You want to tell the Iraqis how to run their country. I got to tell you, we should just plain get out. Just plain get out. It's their country. They're asking us to leave, and we insist on staying there. And why not get out? What harm is it going to do? Oh, you hear the statement, well, my God, the soldiers will have died in vain. The entire deaths of Vietnam died in vain. And they're dying in vain right this very second. And you know what's worse than a soldier dying in vain? Is more soldiers dying in vain. That's what's worse.
You know what's worse than soldiers dying in vain is more soldiers dying in vain. I think he hit it dead on. He hit it dead on.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, he's one of the great ones too that was very anti-war and against staying in places that we have no reason to be in. Also, there's a good little speech from the great Ron Paul as well, talking about what was going to happen and that it was a total failure. And people just laughed at his face as well, and no one took him seriously. But I don't know. It's just when you control and manipulate media and have corrupt politicians, this is what you get. It's not a easy thing to do or even talk about.
it's
No.
it's unfortunate.
If you could find that clip, we'll listen to it for sure, Eric. But
Okay.
yeah, we also have. I want to show you something else too. That speaking of, so if you go to our website, we have these articles, and I'm not going to get into the website, but I do want to show you the articles. Hold on, let me find them.
You're right. I made that statement, but
All
that's
right.
before I
So
had
here
a
I'm
chance to
gonna go.
stand with them a couple, three
So
times.
I want to show you an article that we published back in July about this thing. It's gonna take me a while to get to it. Hold on. This is our website, mctv.net. Please subscribe, guys. We'll throw you into the giveaways that we do. So, former president criticizes leaving Afghanistan. Okay, this guy has more blood on his hand than anybody I know. I mean, you know about Bush, right? George W.
Yeah, I actually got a meme for you here too.
So
just in a bit.
Just a kind of a. I won't try to read the whole thing, but in a newly released interview, former President George W. Bush, didn't hold back on his criticism on departure of America. He said, "I spent a lot of time with Afghan women, and they're scared. It seems like they're going to be left behind to be slaughtered by these very brutal people, and it breaks my heart." So he's saying that it was a mistake, and I guess that's what we're hearing now, is it was a mistake. How could we do that? Bush, whose administration launched the U.S. military invasion of Afghanistan in 2001. 2001, this happened.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure, I'm very anti-Bush. I think Bush did this for maybe legacy of his father. Also, he had a lot of people controlling him in the background. He was pretty much a puppet as well, but he let it all happen. So it's 100% his fault. His administration's fault, but it's all the people that he put in there as well. It's unfortunate, and I think he just did it for his father pretty much, because his father wanted to be there, and took advantage.
I'm just loading up one of those clips for you, Eric, right now.
Okay, yeah, he's the one to blame for all of this stuff, And even there's another good clip too of Trump blaming Bush when he was debating Jeb Bush in the 2016 elections, and he just called him out and blamed George W. for everything, and he did it in a conservative state. You could even call him a neocon state, and they all cheered Trump on, which was kind of amazing to see that people were actually anti-war for once.
Surprisingly, right?
Yeah. It's a bit of a long clip, but
right?
yeah, he puts a lot of great points, and it pretty much predicts what's going on right now.
All right, let's tune in.
I thank the gentleman, and Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized.
The question we're facing today is, should we leave Afghanistan? I think the answer is very clear, and it's not complicated. And of course, we should, as soon as we can. This suggests that we can leave by the end of the year. If we don't, we'll be there for another decade, would be my prediction. The American people are now with us. A group of us here in the Congress, bipartisan group, for nearly a decade have been talking about this, arguing not to expand the war, not to be over there, not to be a nation building.
Yeah, if I believe it's 2012 or 2011.
The American people didn't pay much attention. Now they are. The large majority of the American people now say it's time to get out of Afghanistan. It's a fruitless venture. Too much has been lost. The chance of winning, since we don't even know what we're going to win, doesn't exist. So they are tired of it. Financially, there's a good reason to come home as well. Some argue we have to be there because if we leave under these circumstances, we'll lose face. It will look embarrassing to leave. So how many more men and women have to die? How many more dollars have to be spent to save face? That is one of the worst arguments possible. We're not there under legal conditions. This is a war. Who says it isn't a war? Everybody talks about the Afghan war. Was the war declared? Of course not. It wasn't declared. There was a resolution passed that said that the president at that time, under the emergency of 9/11, could go and deal with Al-Qaeda, those who dealt and brought upon the 9/11 bombings. But Al-Qaeda is not there anymore. So we're fighting the Taliban. The Taliban used to be our allies at one time when the Soviets were there. Taliban wants, their main goal is to keep foreign occupationers out. They want foreigners out of their country. They're not Al-Qaeda. Yet most Americans, maybe less so now, but the arguments here on the floor is we got to go after Al-Qaeda. This is not a war against Al-Qaeda. If anything, it gives the incentive for Al-Qaeda to grow in numbers rather than dealing with them. You know, the money issue, we're talking about a lot of money. Huh? How much do we spend in a year? Probably about $130 billion, up to $1 trillion now in this past decade. Later on in the day, we're going to have two votes. We're going to have a vote on doing something sensible, making sense out of our foreign policy, bringing our troops home, and saving hundreds of billions of dollars. And then we also will have a vote against NPR, to cut the funding of NPR. There's a serious question about whether that will even cut one penny, but at least the fiscal conservatives are going to be overwhelmingly in support of slashing NPR, go home and brag about how they're so great fiscal conservatives, and the very most they might save is $10 million. And that's their claim to fame for slashing the budget. At the same time, they won't consider for a minute cutting a real significant amount of money. All empires end for fiscal reasons because they spread themselves too far around the world, and that's what we're facing. We're in the midst of a military conflict that's contributing to this inevitable crisis, and it's financial. And you'd think there'd be a message in the fact of how did the Soviets come down? By doing the very same thing that we're doing, perpetual occupation of a country. We don't need to be occupying Afghanistan or any other country. We don't even need to be considered going into Libya and where else. Fortunately, I guess for those of us who would like to see less of this killing, we will have to quit because we won't be able to afford it.
He makes some good
The process that we're going through is following the War Powers Resolution. This is a proper procedure. It's call attention to how we slip into these wars. I have all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he pretty much predicted that because that was an older video. He said, if we don't get out now, we're going to be there for another decade. I think, yeah, he was right.
Yeah, that shows the date, and it's, I believe, March 17th, 2011 when he
so he was right.
Yeah, and like I said, he tried warning us. He tried telling us like it's not going to end pretty regardless, and he even brought up the excuse of why we couldn't leave. It's because we were going to be it was going to be an embarrassment. But what's more embarrassing, staying there longer and not accomplishing anything, or just getting out and admitting that you didn't accomplish anything? And 10 years of more war happened instead, and that's the big tragedy of all this. And I think also the way it's going through right now is as well because they had agreed on a deal and leaving back in March, I believe. And then Biden comes into office and he says, no, we're going to stay there. And he kind of wanted to make it look a little celebratory and get out on September 11th of 2021, kind of to mark it as the 20-year anniversary. And I think the Taliban was even more mad about that because I think they had a deal by getting out by March, and they broke that deal. So now it's all, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was going to end bad regardless. I don't know if it would have ended better if they wouldn't have broken that deal. I'm not fully sure what the promise was and all the other stuff that Trump had promised them, but the Biden administration came in and pretty much broke that promise and extended it till September. And I think that's also why they're a little more outraged and they took over the way they did. I mean, the president of Afghanistan had to flee too. Like he had to leave.
I kind of spoke to someone about this a little bit on the sense of, I mean, we say this all the time. Democrat, Republican, they're all the same shit, anyways.
Yeah.
But I was saying that, I mean, you go back the Bush administration, they were good buddy with the Bin Ladens,
Yeah,
and
there used to there was a time when Osama lived in Texas.
and you saw in this video, he said the Taliban was on our side.
Yes.
And now they're not.
Yeah, now
you know
they
what I mean?
became the
Like,
enemy.
Now I'm telling you, man, like, I mean, we're in these wars. I mean, the surface of it is not what you expect. It's there, you have to dig a little deeper because it's, I mean, we're in these wars for a reason. We're out here, you know, blackmailing, sleeping with other countries and getting away with it, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's why it's so dirty, and they knew this was all planned. As much as you want to say it wasn't, it was planned. There's also another great I wouldn't call it speech, but there's a general talking and how they had put him in a room and told him like they had plans of taking all these Middle Eastern countries in like a span of 7 years, but obviously nothing goes as planned. But yeah, Afghanistan was part of it, Syria was part of it, Iraq was part of it, Iran. I think Iran was the last place they were going to try to end up destroying. But it's these countries, I mean, they're all, yeah, they are somewhat third world countries and not as established as the US or other big nations, but they're not going to be they're not going to take it, they're not going to be taken down easily. And it's all the plans are failing now because it took one whole presidential 4 years in an administration that didn't want to be there and just kept pounding them and telling them to get out and get out. And as much as, you know, people don't like him and stuff, I think he kind of did the right thing, and he threw a wrench in this big military industrial complex plan, and it's all falling apart now. And
I'm gonna ask you something.
What?
And I want to know.
What's up?
So you don't like Biden? I mean, I don't like Biden.
No.
But Biden pulled these troops out.
Yes.
So what do you say to that?
I agree with him getting out. It just sucks that they had to, like I said earlier, they broke the deal that they were supposed to get out earlier. And yeah, we're there. We were there a few extra months. Like I said, I'm not fully sure about the whole deal. I just know that they were supposed to get out back in March. But regardless, we had to get out regardless. So yeah, he looks bad right now, and it, you know, the way they executed it does look bad. But a war is never pretty. So I don't know what they expected. They expected a parade or something. I don't know. It's always gonna be ugly, and I mean, it's unfortunate. But yeah, I'm not here trying to be like, oh yeah, it's all Biden's fault. It's Bush's fault.
Yeah.
And whatever the military industrial complex plans were, it's you know, it's whatever the deep state wanted. And yeah, it looks bad, and he's gonna look bad or whatever. People are gonna criticize him for it, but it's still better for him to get out. For him telling him to come out of it and all that stuff. We had no reason to be there since 2001. Since they got rid of Al Qaeda, like you said, they got rid of Al Qaeda, and so there was no reason to be in Afghanistan anymore.
And we really don't know the true reason of if there was a deal or whatever. Of, like, for instance, when Obama left office, I guess he decided to shut down the was it the Keystone Pipeline? And then Trump, right when he was elected, he reopened it back up.
Yes, and now Biden closed it again.
Obama, this is what I think happened, is Obama purposely closed it to get all the cheers, yay, hurrah, knowing damn well Trump was going to reopen it. You know what I mean? So like, I'm pretty certain like he kind of had, okay, well, I know Trump's gonna do this, so I'm gonna do this to make me look good, and then
Make
I
him
know
look
Trump's gonna
bad.
just reopen it after I leave office anyways. So
Yeah. I mean,
know,
that could be part of it too. And then, but now Biden closed it again. So, uh, and now we're kind of starting to see the gas prices effects of this. So I don't know, it's messing with us when they're the ones, playing with us and doing bad stuff. Some for virtue or whatever, and other because they want to keep the prices low. An economic versus what do you want to call it? Just to look good, I guess.
yeah.
Social points.
So this is on our Facebook. Our Facebook page is awesome because it shows informational stuff as well as funny stuff. And here's one of our memes. I think it was shared by you.
Yes, that's actually what I was going to show you. It's like, yeah, they're all blaming Obama, Trump, and Biden, but the one that started it all was Bush.
Yeah, as he paints his picture,
He loves painting pictures.
Yep. It's just crazy, man. I think it's all crazy. And like I said, Republican, Democrat, they're all the same shit, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched War Dogs or Lord of War? With War Dogs has Jonah Hill in it, but Lord of War has
Yes, I
Nicolas
watch War
Cage.
Dogs. Yes.
Okay, but
that's
you
funny,
gotta
and
watch that one, and you gotta watch Lord of War. So basically, it talks about exactly what we were talking about. It's where we're selling guns to so and so and so and so, even though we're enemies with so and so.
Yeah.
We don't give a shit.
They don't care. They're just trying to make money.
That's what I mean. We're in bed with everybody, and we have shit on everybody. We like to blackmail.
Yeah.
But I would recommend checking out War Dogs is newer, but Lord of War, I think it's called.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but
it just talks about how corrupt the government is and what they'll do for money.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah.
They'll sell guns to anybody. They'll literally sell guns to their enemy and sell guns to their other enemy, and they'll kill each other.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, shit, they'll sell guns to, basically anybody.
And then, I don't know
if
you
sell
saw
guns to them.
I don't know if you saw those images of the Taliban, getting a hold of all those weapons that the military left. And they got Humvees as well out there. They got a hold of a lot of stuff. They got Black Hawk helicopters now too, because the U.S. left it all behind. It was a sloppy exit, but I mean, like I said, it's not easy. It's never ending a war is never easy, and it's never going to look pretty.
I'm going to show you just if you have seen it. Hold on, let me throw it up for you. Oops, I was just trying to find an image of these movies we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Is there anything else that you wanted to bring about all this crap going on?
Yeah, just for people not to buy into it too much. Yeah, the images and videos that we're seeing right now are very brutal, and it's sad, and it's unfortunate, but I mean, they don't show us the videos of them bombing children and families, all because supposedly there's one terrorist in there and they have to destroy the whole group or the whole party or whatever is going on. It's like they don't show us that. That's the ugly part. And they like to use words also. I've always said this, that you got to be careful with the words that they use. They don't even call them, casualties or I mean, people or stuff like that. They call them like insurgents and stuff like that. So just know that that's still a life. That's a human life that they took. And many people have died on both sides, not just troops, but as well as innocent families and citizens of the country. So just keep that in mind, and don't let all this stuff try to make you change your opinion and say that we should stay there or not ever come out of this place. It's sad.
So here's that War Dogs.
I love that movie. That movie's pretty good.
Jonah Hill. And, yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's serious, but it's funny. And then there's this one, pretty much kind of about the same thing. But I like both of them. But this one, I'm telling you, man, I don't think a lot of people have seen this, but it's such a good movie.
Nicolas Cage,
Talked about.
legendary meme. I don't think I've seen this one, but it looks interesting.
Oh, it's good, man. You got to watch it.
Okay, yeah,
It's a good one.
But yeah, all these movies kind of spill out the truth a little bit, and people just kind of. I think that's also the problem is that you see a movie and you think it's kind of like not going on when it actually is. It spills truth and it just kind of goes over people's heads. And I think that's how they kind of get away with it as well. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's sad, but it didn't have to be this way. We were warned. But
would you say that Biden's done at least one thing right, or still no?
He's done like two things right.
What are those?
Well, pulling out for sure, and that little he passed a little bill that he didn't want these tech companies making it impossible for you to fix your own phone if you wanted to fix it yourself, because Apple's kind of being greedy about that, and they passed this weird thing where plan or something where if you try fixing your own phone, you or asking for the tools or something like that. They do all this weird stuff where they only you have to go back to them to fix it or something like that. I'll try to look into it because it's a little while ago, but yeah, it's kind of scumbagish what they're trying to do, and they're just trying to milk money out of you like always. But yeah, Biden passed a little bill saying that they can't do that stuff, and I think that's kind of good.
Well, good. I'm glad he's doing at least something right. We'll see how much longer he can last in office. But
also that
I
did
guess
you see that picture of him in I think it was on Sunday where he was supposedly having a meeting with like the CIA and the vice president and other people discussing the exit of Afghanistan, and people pointed out that the clocks on the London and Moscow times were wrong because they were set like 3 hours apart when they're technically 2, but during daylight savings is when it's 3 hours apart. So they're saying that picture was edited, and that picture can't be a recent picture that was shot during the winter or something.
Or maybe they just never changed it.
I mean, this is it's not just the clock in your room.
Yeah,
but it could be that. It could be that. But that's also it's not a good look either.
Well, Eric, before we end the show, you know what we like to do. We just want to, let everybody know about our website. If you subscribe to MCETV.net, you can get some giveaway, win a giveaway. Subscribe, and you'll see our articles and all that. I just wanted to show you, but I don't see if I have it up right now. Actually, well, that's okay. Oh no, yeah, I don't see that it's up, but it's okay. Subscribe to us, MCETV.net. It's easy. You'll find all of our articles. I mean, just some of the stuff we showed today on the show. That we got that straight from our source. Other than that, if you're not catching us on Wednesdays, you can be catching Nard Knows, which is about sporting world. It's in detail too. It's funny, got some humor, and as well as the No Knowledge podcast that they're very, very, very enthused and very good when it comes to the MMA world, as well as the sporting world in general.
Also very funny.
And also very funny. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And they're consistent on Sundays. They try to push their stuff out on Sundays. And then our crossover show, we're going to get that going, I promise. But other than that, yeah, just keep following us. Keep following us on MCETV.net. Eric, you got anything else?
No, I think we put our points across, and just always look into everything, question everything.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. We say that in our thing. Question everything. Question more. Open them damn minds up. But until then,
that was the main topic, right? We were seeing the opinions change, in matter of days.
Yes. We're getting somewhere. All right, man. Well, take care. We'll see you guys all next time.
Peace.
Welcome to Media Crossover Entertainment, plugging you into everything that matters. I'm Jesse Valdez.
I'm Eric Mateos.
And we have a special message for the viewers. Yeah. We are looking, I mean, you guys seen our Facebook page. It goes from everything from viral videos to memes. You know, Eric over here is our meme king, you know, even though he's been kind of slacking a little bit over the past few days. But, so we're looking for some editors to help run our page. And basically, we're just looking for like passionate people.
Yeah.
Passionate people, whether that is to, like you're saying, maybe throw out some memes, or passionate people to get out their own content. If you have an idea, we want you on board. We need some editors. And I mean, Eric, tell them like what you do, basically.
I usually like find the funniest memes I can find. Sometimes I try to make my own. Just whatever I find funny. It might be a little crude, might be a little innocent, but we put it up and try to see if anyone likes it or not.
But it doesn't necessarily. It could be like video games.
Yeah,
it could be sports.
Games, anything that's popular. I mean, if anything fails, anything loses, it's gonna be funny. Anyone's gonna make fun of it. So that works for that. But not only that, we like to put out news, stuff that people may not be talking about much. Something that you want to put out there in the light for people to talk about or know about. Any type of news or any type of technology, video games, whatever.
Anything. Like we said, we're looking for passionate people to help run our page. It could be anything from video games, news, politics, tech, anything. It's a wide variety to either just to edit and throw those videos on, pictures on, memes on, to if you have original content that you want to get out to the world, but you don't have a source to get it out. Media Crossover Entertainment can be that source to get it out, because not only will we be helping you get the audience and build traffic to what you're doing that you're passionately involved with, but you'll be helping us build some original content for our page. So share the word, get it out there. Like I said, we're looking for editors, and we'll be happy to get you on board.
Yep.
I follow one source, and it's the source.
Okay, I follow multiple sources.
MCETV.net. So if you want me to see it,
okay.
If you want me to see it, I better see articles or shows on it. So
just remember, winners write history.
Welcome to the No Knowledge Podcast. Here are your hosts.
Yo, welcome to another episode 20 of the No Knowledge Podcast. We're your hosts, Jose and Danny, back and ready to give you another good episode.
Yes,
all
sir.
Sports, a little bit, not much to talk about, I guess, in the UFC this week.
MMA world, period. UFC at all, right?
UFC at all, unless when we start talking about, I guess, next week's
event. Very rare
but
that they don't have an event nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to that event every.
But it's good, bro,
took a break
because these fucking fight night cards are just getting diluted.
It's nice to take a little break too, though, because I wasn't forced to have to watch a fight this weekend, you know. Because I feel like I'm forced to watch them now, so we know what we're talking about. Because if not, we're gonna just look mental.
I mean, we're true fans, but I mean, we want to see just a good card built. And these fight night cards that the UFC been putting out is just, man, when you're looking at the bottom of these, even the main cards, the bottom of these main cards, you're struggling to even know who these guys are.
Yeah. You know? You have to be like deep into this shit to know some of these guys are.
Back in the day, their fight night cards, man, you knew the whole main card roster at least, you know. And now it's just
so many.
diluted.
Yeah, there's so many fighters, and that's. And I think that's what's cool about these promotions, that there's multiple promotions, because, I mean, gives, you know, a lot of these promotions an opportunity to have bigger stars. 2x2, top 2 trending stories of the week in the sports world. I think for the MMA world, we got a retirement.
And I think it's about time, right?
I mean, 41, yeah, I think it was about time.
But when you see the jiu-jitsu so-called king go down and get his arm broken.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I mean,
Especially because they were talking about, weren't they talking shit in that fight?
Yeah.
The commentator saying, "Oh, it's pretty much saying, oh, it's gonna be impossible to take him down," and then boom, arm broken.
not only that, the guy, and I'm sorry, but the guy who broke his arm called it. He said, "I'm gonna submit him," and he was getting laughed at.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
trolling because they didn't think it was possible. But for people that don't know who we're talking about Jacare Souza, I think is what you call it. He announced his retirement over the week, and he said he's gonna just take his talents to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where he originated.
Good career, man.
I think
it's a good MMA career. Anyone who loves MMA. I mean, did he win the belt up in Bellator?
In Bellator,
I know he never reached it in the UFC level.
I don't think so.
That'd be a good little checkup. Maybe Eric, you want to see if Jacare Souza, did he ever win the belt up in Bellator?
I don't think he did, bro.
Did he ever? Was always a top contender.
Did he ever even come close?
Yeah.
What was the closest he came to in
the UFC?
Yeah.
He fought.
Did he fight for the belt?
I know he fought the Yoel Romeros. He fought the Luke Rockholds. He was always up there in the mix. I think the lack of knowing English at the time, not having the popularity maybe hurt him. He was always up there, man. He could just never get that. We'll call it the cowboy thing.
Oh, you're talking. You meant Strike Force, right? Not Bellator.
Strike Force, yeah.
Yeah, he was. He won it in Strike Force.
Was he the champion in Strike Force?
Strike Force, he won it. But he was never Bellator. So I was thinking, what the fuck? Did he actually go to Bellator? Yeah, but he was.
I get a little confused with Strike Force. Basically, Bellator is what Strike Force was before.
Yeah,
right?
he was a former. Former champion at Strike Force when he moved up to the UFC.
He went to secured him a place in the semifinal of the middleweight Grand Prix.
Also, he didn't win the Grand Prix.
Dream middleweight championship.
Yeah, Dream was before though.
No, yeah, he wasn't in Bellator. He meant the.
Yeah, it was the.
He meant Strike Force.
Strike Force.
Yeah, Strike Force. He was champion there
because a lot of those Strike Force people came. The Luke Rockholds.
A lot of them came from Strike Force.
Yeah, the Tyron Woodleys. They all came from Strike Force, man. So when the UFC sees real competition as a competitor, they go and they try to buy him out. That's what they do.
And that's. Do you think the UFC is looking to buy out any of these upcoming promotions? Do they feel threatened by any of them at the moment, or?
I mean,
I know it's a little. It's a little off topic, but
no, I mean it's a good topic to discuss because we're talking about how Bellator has possibly a star. PFL, the fight we're about to get into, they're beating these guys from the UFC coming over, but this is the difference. Bellator, man, we were getting ready to watch the PFL fights, and we had to find out surprise that Mousasi is fighting. Man, that's one of Bellator's big guys. We didn't even know he was fighting.
Yep, we didn't know he was fighting. Possibly one of the. I think honestly, you even said it. He was slept on when he was in the UFC.
He's the most underrated non-UFC fighter. Even when he was in the UFC, he's kind of like a Jacare that was always top 5. And whenever he fought these top dudes, you're like, damn, he could fight.
Yeah, and they just slept on him. And I mean, we didn't know they were. I mean, again, bad promotion.
Oh, they need a new PR guy, man.
That shit's horrible, man. We were watching. I was watching. What's it called? PFL, and then you texted me and said, "Hey, that Bellator fight's on tonight, right?" And then I was like, "What?" And I switch it over to Showtime, and it says Bellator Gegard Mousasi
this is
versus.
The thing. We are MMA guys, bro. We're doing an MMA. An MMA dominated sports podcast. So we know when this shit is on. So if you're just the average viewer, if you're just a nobody that doesn't even care about fighting, wants to just watch some sports one night, you have no idea that this is on.
Exactly.
No idea, man.
No idea. So Jacare's last couple of fights. I mean, we said it was only. I think it was time. His last 4, he lost his last. Well, out of his last 5, he's lost 4.
Yeah.
His last loss, I guess, Andre
they're
Muniz.
all brutal because
he lost to Andre Muniz. That's the guy that broke his arm. He lost to Kevin Holland. I think Holland knocked him out, right?
From
the back.
Yeah, from the back.
From the back.
Some hammer fist from the back knocked him out. I do remember that.
That was
when
nasty.
Kevin Holland hype up was coming up.
Then he lost to Jean, the current champion.
Yeah.
And that was a split decision. And then he lost to John Manson in a unanimous decision. His last win came against Chris Weidman in the TKO. And this fight was in 2018.
And we all know the slide that Weidman's on.
Yeah. So. Before that, he lost to Kelvin Gastelum. Then he beat Bronson. He lost to Robert Whitaker. So he was losing to the top dogs.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He was fighting. He's always fought the top dog. So he's always been a, number.
Lost to Romero.
1 through 5. That's what I'm telling you. He fought the big guys, man.
He beat Gegard Mousasi back in 2014.
Was that in Strikeforce?
No, UFC Fight Night.
UFC Fight Night. Okay.
That was a headliner. He submitted him with a guillotine.
That's what I'm talking about. We're talking about one of the greatest jiu-jitsu MMA practitioners ever,
And so yeah, I mean, he's fought the best of the best, but he's also lost to the best of the best. I mean, he's lost to Romero, Whitaker, Gastelum, Hermanson, John Blachowicz, who's the champion now.
So did he move up in weight?
Who?
Because Jan's the champion at 205.
Yeah.
So he moved up. He was fighting light heavyweight.
Yeah, he was fighting. Yep, he went up.
Yeah, I don't think it was a spot for him. But that's kind of the one last second moves that these people do to try to extend their careers, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I think for sure the way he lost his last one is what kind of just sealed it for him. The way he lost, I mean, he got his arm broken.
I think that's the last way you want to go out too,
especially as a god in jiu-jitsu. I think that's
people looking up to your ground game, and boom, he caught your arm and
snap.
It's crazy because all these Brazilian guys, bro, they don't play, man. If they don't tap, they don't like to tap. What's up with that?
Pride. It's pride. Yeah. I think it's pride, my guy.
J. Cole said it best, bro.
It's pride. Pride is the devil. So,
you catch me tapping in a second, bro. I am trying to break my arm.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, he's an older guy, but if you're a younger, like Nogueira in his prime, he just let Frank Mir break it. It's just like, man, do you really want to be out over a year?
It's stupid. Yeah, I mean, Connor, when he got getting choked out by Nate, remember, he was gonna go to sleep. He's like, fuck that, I ain't gonna lose no brain cells, and he just tapped, which is smart. This is smart.
What I hate is the people are like, oh, pussy, you tapped. Come on.
No, bro. We saw what Holly Holm was doing. Remember when she got choked out by Misha Tate, and instead of tapping, she was still swinging and she went to sleep, and it's kind of
not a good look.
No. I think it's better to tap out because you fight another day.
Exactly.
You live to fight another day. You go to sleep or you get something broken, you're out for minimum 6 months. That's the minimum. But if you get something broken, you're out over a year possibly. And so
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that crazy quote that Khabib said about McGregor on the Mike Tyson podcast?
No.
He said that he shouldn't have tapped like that because he brought all these people from Ireland to watch him. Only for him to
well, imagine he didn't tap though, bro. Imagine all those people from Ireland came to watch him sleep. And then you got a wife who's worried. Once you go to bed, man, it's like, man, you never know if you're gonna wake up, right?
Brain cells.
I mean, all these people do eventually wake up. Thank God, there's been no deaths.
Khabib was like pissed off that
Khabib's a hater, man.
No, well, Khabib said that too because of the fact that he said, remember when he lost to Poirier this last one, he went on a tweet rant and he's like, "Good always defeats evil." Is what he tweeted.
Yeah.
And then Connor's response was, "Oh yeah, good always defeats evil. Coronavirus is good. Father was evil." So he took a jab at his father.
Yeah, that might have been a bit too far, but that's right down Connor's alley.
No, but that's why I think he's talking shit now, Yeah. But I mean, he did hit him with the low blow.
Thing.
And then have you been seeing the back and forth with him in DC now?
No.
Connor's going at it with DC, he's pretty much calling him a fat fuck and that he's drunk on set, about to watch the greatest or the biggest MMA fight in history. He literally went on talking shit.
He ain't lying, bro. DC is a fat shit.
But I mean, it's like obviously DC's not fighting anymore. He's just a commentator. But I mean, the way this route that Connor's going, it's looking bad, bro. It's looking bad just the way he's going back and forth. Eric, see if you can pull up some of those tweets.
Hey, but this is the thing. He's not friends with none of these guys, right? He's not losing any friends. Number two, it keeps his name relevant, and that's what he wants. And you know what? Number three, who gives a fuck, bro? He said it best when he became the champ. He owes an apology to absolutely no one.
Exactly.
No one.
But I mean, let me see if Eric can find some of these tweets. But they were going back against DC Daniel Cormier. But they were going back and forth, and Cormier was just going. I mean, McGregor was just saying a lot of shit. You
gotta stay relevant, bro. You got a broken leg. You know what I mean?
And DC was just going because I guess he was calling him out because he said that he was drinking, about to commentate on the biggest fight in history and all this shit.
I think we knew
he was kind of sore loser. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah.
And Daniel Cormier is a fat mess getting into worse condition by the day. God bless him, showing up drunk at media events the very day before he was in the booth calling my fight. Drunk at a media event working the day before being a commentator on the biggest fight in history, with a bunch of question marks. It is a sackable offense for a commentator to be drunk at press work the day before commenting the big fight. Bedful getting together, belching in the mic at a press event, and an all what the fuck. The day before commenting the big fight? Is this guy serious? Disgraceful.
Hey, bro, but let me just tell you something. Those UFC PR people ain't going to play. DC just got his warning. I'll tell you that, bro. Let me tell you something. DC is fat. He ain't going to fight no more for sure. Number two, DC just lost his co-partner on this podcast. You know that podcast is going.
Hey, oh, that shit's trash. Yeah. I'm not even looking at it.
I unsubscribe. Nobody.
Yeah, I unsubscribe to that shit too.
Once you put a football guy on an MMA podcast, bro, it just you got to have respect for the sport. And
yeah.
ESPN had no respect for the sport.
Yeah,
there's tons of MMA guys that are not Ariel Helwani that they could have replaced him with. Yeah. Right? They could have got Chael. They could have got whoever.
They got my number.
Dude, they could have got whoever in the MMA game, and they went and got the fucking all-pro Steelers safety. Come on. Man, just get the fuck out of here. No one wants to listen to that shit.
But I think this all started with DC when that tweet came out about father being evil, coronavirus being good. DC came out to the defense of Khabib and said, "Oh man, that's it's kind of a low blow." So I think this is more.
Connor's a low blow guy, bro.
But I mean, that's another level. I mean,
bro, he just fucking called out his wife in the octagon. Is it something that surprises you? Is the question.
That level low, yeah.
Yeah, you think
that
so?
level low?
Him and Khabib hate each other, bro.
Yeah, but
hate each other.
I mean, yeah, they were talking shit about religion and shit, and then it seemed like. Because when his father passed, Connor tweeted something in respects to it. He said, "R.I.P. to a legend," blah, 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 blah.
We know that Connor is a little sour, right? He doesn't like to be, just with the Poirier.
See, but that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. If McGregor just doesn't say any of these things and then he comes back on a tear, I think he's gonna just have more love.
I get you. From Khabib won, right?
Yeah.
Khabib won the war.
Dominant.
It's over.
It's
right? It's dominated. It's over. There's not even a comparison, right? Why does Khabib have to go out and tweet every time Conor loses? It's done, right? So you're just poking the bear, bro. And the bear, he don't like to be poked.
But I mean, he's got the right to tweet. I mean. Are we gonna give him?
Then Connor has the right to tweet.
Are we gonna give him the Trump treatment now and just remove him from Twitter too? We can't be doing that.
Hey, we ain't removing Connor because Connor. Hey, the only reason we're talking about Khabib, we're not talking about Khabib signing to a Russian soccer team.
We were about to get to that.
No, bro, it's 2x2. Let's stick on the.
We were about to stick on the biggest story in MMA. Khabib just signed to the Russian soccer team. He's about to make our next topic look like shit.
No, man. We're on the 2x2. Let's stick by talking. The second story, the real soccer story is, a legend leaving Barcelona.
Oh, I thought you were saying a legend joining the team.
No, bro. Let's show some respect to the sport of soccer.
All right. So, I mean, I'm not a big soccer fan. So, but obviously he left Barcelona. But I'm hearing rumors that he wanted to stay.
No, he did want to stay for tax reasons. Like, this is the thing, and what I've gotten to read into is La Liga, they put a cap.
Okay.
So they couldn't afford him no more,
well,
bro.
Fuck, I mean,
like all these Spanish teams, they're losing players left and right. Ronaldo left Real Madrid. Now, look, they couldn't afford what Messi wanted to get paid. And these soccer guys, they don't take pay cuts.
Oh,
bro.
No, they don't.
They do not take pay cuts.
They don't know what pay cuts are.
But fucking Kanye said niggas in Paris, and here we come, bro. But it don't look right, bro. We're not the biggest of soccer fans. Did you see him in the PSG cut?
You know what? Well, that's gonna be the title for this week's episode. Is niggas in Paris.
We're still waiting for Dante too.
France stays winning, then, right? France stays winning.
Hey, France is winning right now, bro.
France is winning right now. They got the future heavyweight champ, and now they got Messi signed to PSG. They're gonna run that league now.
Let me just tell you the power of Messi. Bro,
yes,
did you see how much Instagram followers PSG gained on the Messi signing loan?
I did not see.
So previous to signing Messi, I believe, and you might have to check this, Eric, but before PSG signed Messi, they had 20 million Instagram followers. Okay, once they signed Messi, they gained another 20 million Instagram followers, bro.
That's wild.
It is fucking crazy.
Well, what's it called? I mean, I don't know if the record's been broken, but a few weeks, about a month ago, Messi had the highest like on an Instagram video picture. It was that picture of him holding that trophy that Argentina won.
Oh,
was it what was that cup?
Yeah, that was his first
international
cup.
So that he posted a picture with him in the trophy,
Yeah.
and that shit broke a record of that's the most likes an Instagram post has ever had.
More than titties.
More than the Kardashians' titties.
Oh shit, bro! I'm surprised.
I mean, because titties get likes.
Shout out to all these guys for not liking the titties no more.
Hey man, it's a new era. It's a new era.
Oh, shit,
stand up.
no.
So the screenshot shows 19.8 followers before Messi.
Million, right?
Yeah, 19.8 million. And then after is 40.2 million.
Dude, he doubled PSG's followers, and that's big money for the team, bro. That's a lot of revenue, dude. The more like you get paid by followers, right? I mean, that's why I'm not into social media, but everyone wants a follower, right, bro?
You think LeBron takes his talents to PSG?
No, he's with Liverpool.
Who, LeBron?
He owns a part of Liverpool.
I thought
bro.
maybe he was gonna go to PSG. Easy championship, you know.
Have you seen Ted Lasso?
Uh-uh.
Ted Lasso. It's about an American football coach who goes and coaches soccer up in Europe. So maybe he's gonna go do that.
Oh, is this a show on like Prime or Apple? Yeah, I think I've seen.
It's a really good show.
I've seen the ads for it, but I've never looked at it. Show. Funny. So yeah, so I don't know. I mean,
I guess it was kind of like false though. I guess some people fact checked it, and they were at 38.8 million followers before Messi got signed.
Oh, so it was fake news.
Kind of, yeah. And so after it went from on the 10th, because the 9th they had 38, on the 10th they went to 41, and now the 11th they're at 44.4 million.
So it's growing. It's slowly growing, but it's fake news.
It's not as drastic as people thought.
Yeah, you see? And if Eric tells you it's fake news, it's fake news. He knows what fake news is out there, you know. Check out Liberators.
He just fact checked me, man. He fucked my story.
He just fact checked you. We're gonna have to start doing that, man. We can't be giving out this.
The whole point is the Brazilian Neymar. He didn't do that, bro.
Ah, man, he's trash. He's trash.
He ain't flopping.
So who's PSG got on that team then?
I mean, Neymar.
I know they got the kid Mbappe, right?
Mbappe.
Yeah, that kid's a killer.
FIFA cover.
Yeah.
And obviously with the France winning did France win the Euros? No.
Italy won it.
Italy won the Euros.
Yeah, but
France won the World Cup.
But that was conspiracy on that one. They let who was the other
another Spanish guy.
Who was the team? Yeah, was it England? Yeah, it was England versus Italy, but there was a reason for that.
They didn't want the blacks to win?
No, the two worst cities affected by COVID, or countries affected by COVID. So they had to give some revenue to one of these countries. It's like when the Saints won the Super Bowl, remember?
I thought they didn't want the black kids to win.
I mean, they're hating if they do that. I mean, these blacks are dominating every sport.
Hey, they're dominating the world, bro. You can't say nothing wrong.
You can't. They're dominating. But, I mean, PSG a contender now, or were they contenders before Messi?
No, they always won the French league. So if we're talking about Champions League contender, now they're up there. But I
did see that he was kind of emotional on his departure. How many seasons did he play?
He was crying. His whole career. He grew up in the Barcelona. Just like the soccer, they take that shit serious, right?
Yeah.
Here we take football serious. Soccer, these top tier clubs, they sign you as children, bro. They're developing you.
So they buy you as a kid,
elementary age.
So they buy you as a kid.
He's been Barcelona his whole life. So I mean, it was sad when you see someone cry. I'm pretty sure it meant
16 years in Barcelona.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously, yeah. I mean, it's just like
that's 16 years playing though. He grew up in their junior leagues, so
fucking his whole life.
They owned him since he was a fetus.
21 years total.
21 years total.
Yeah.
So see, damn, that's wild though. But yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as like obviously when Brady left. I mean, obviously Brady spent his whole career in the Patriots uniform, and then he leaves. But I mean, obviously, he went and succeeded somewhere else, and he won on the chip. Yeah. And I think that's the same thing Messi's about to do. He's going to go and win a chip.
Yeah, they'll easily win the French.
So is he the highest selling jersey right now at the moment?
Oh, I don't doubt it.
So are you going to go buy yourself a Messi jersey?
No.
No? Why is that?
I don't like Messi.
Oh, you're gonna use your money for that Russell Westbrook jersey,
I'm
right?
gonna buy the Carson Wentz jersey once he comes back from injury.
For the Colts.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get into that a little later if you want. We can. So you're jumping ship, is what you're telling me.
No, it's one of those LeBron things, you know.
Oh, okay.
You know, when LeBron leaves,
You do know Wentz didn't win you guys that championship, though, right?
Absolutely, he was a big part of it.
But Foles won the whole thing.
Foles was put in the position he was put in because of Wentz.
All right. Anything else?
We won it as a team, bro. We won it as a team, but we were. I'll never forget it. We were 13-2. So if you're saying that Foles would have won it if we came in as the 6th seed, and we were a wild card team, and we had to play the first round, and we had to play on the road every game.
Foles doesn't win it for you?
No, he absolutely does not win it for us. We were a good team. We're riding. You kind of when the Giants won it, we were riding a little hot streak.
Yeah,
and that's what can happen in football. You know, the Bucks, they weren't the best team. They rode the hot streak. You know, and you get a little momentum in football. It's a big deal. You know, if you get hot, it's all about being hot at the right time. It's not the team that starts 8-0. It's the team who finishes the regular season 8-0.
8-0.
You know, winning their last 8 games, going to the playoffs type shit. So it's all momentum. When Messi in soccer, bro, these regular seasons, they're decided by points. So whoever wins the most in the whole league, it's a regular season. There's no postseason. Yeah. You know what I mean? And in American sports, bro, it's about the playoffs.
Playoffs. All right. So now we can jump into. Do you want to just start into the PFL?
Yeah. So a few MMA cards, like we said,
Friday night,
and PFL.
Friday night.
Both for Friday night. Isn't that surprising?
Yeah.
No UFC on Saturday, and no one wanted to take it.
No one took it, but PFL is known.
Yeah, for Friday.
For Thursday, Friday.
I want to know why Bellator fought
Why
Friday.
Bellator didn't go Saturday?
Bellator needs to give us a call.
They fucking weren't promoting it.
Yeah.
Bad promotion once again. They should have gone with Saturday.
Yeah.
Let PFL do their thing, because both events were at the same time.
Yeah.
Both main events were at the same time. I got to see Gegard win, and then I jumped over to see fucking Rory get his ass beat. Yeah. But I mean, I would have enjoyed the cards more had I just been able to watch all the PFL and then the next day watch all of Bellator, you know?
But at the same time, if it wasn't on the same day, we would have never known, because I told you why earlier, but we found out they were the same day at the last moment.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
PFL, though. PFL started their playoffs this weekend. Their welterweight and lightweight tournaments. Let's just start off the top. Cooper versus Roy McDonald's.
Cooper training out of his garage, just
with his brothers, and going into the fight, they were saying that Rory was going to take the fight to the ground, and what was Cooper going to respond with? Yeah. Fucking the other way around. Cooper was taking him to the ground and dominating him from the ground.
Cooper was taking him down, applying the pressure. Yeah, I think he was even winning the stand-up.
Oh, he was. Yeah. Rory looked awkward, though, man. But it seems like he's always done that, especially when he had that whole moment. Was that at Bellator when he was talking about, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't like hurting people. Yeah. Like, he had this whole Bible verse fucking...
Like, he thought he was ready to retire.
Yeah, he seemed like he was going to get the fuck out of there, but... He seems weird. I think he might be on his way out. I don't think he feels it anymore. I don't think he enjoys it. The other thing we were talking about was, Cooper is literally the star at PFL. He's one of the faces of that organization. And the way the way they were pushing towards, because I guarantee you the PFL was hoping Rory McDonald wins it. And they were hoping fucking Anthony Pettis made the playoffs.
So those were their 2 big UFC signings. They spent a lot of money on those guys. So me and Jose were talking. Are they bummed out that these guys didn't even forget winning? They didn't. Anthony Pettis didn't make the playoffs. And Rory didn't even make the finals.
They didn't make the finals.
So is it a bummed out, or are they proud? Because look, man, they signed.
But this is the thing, though. It could go either way. It could be bummed because they're 2 signees where they spent a lot of money in the offseason were busts. 2, they could be happy, but maybe the fighters aren't happy because they're like, okay,
time to pay us.
To pay us. Why are you trying to go after all these big, has-beens? Yeah. Because obviously, now that we think about it, and we've said it a couple times, The UFC looks like a smart organization because they're letting these guys go, and we're thinking,
They're
why the fuck did they?
losing.
Why did they let Pettis go? Pettis is still in his prime, and Pettis loses both fights at PFL.
Yeah.
Doesn't make the
So
playoffs.
two people you've never heard of.
Two people that fought in
Yeah.
the playoffs. They fought each other, and so now it's either Ray Cooper asks for some money after he wins. If he wins the whole thing, and I think he's gonna win the whole thing.
Yeah.
He wins the whole thing. He gets $1 million check. He's the champion. Going into next season, what if someone comes up with another offer? Because I mean, if the UFC wants to target anyone from PFL, it's two names: Kayla Harrison and Ray Cooper III.
Yep.
Those are the two names you target.
Kayla's already on her way out.
Yep, she's on her way out. But if you want another star or at least a contender, you go for Ray Cooper.
Yeah.
And I mean, a guy like him who's humble as shit, like you said, is still training out of his garage with his dad and his brothers.
Yeah.
Comes from a family of fighting. I mean, why not? You know, I mean, I feel like he could do some damage against the top 10 in that division in the UFC.
I would like to see it. Personally.
His stand-up game
You know?
looked solid, and his ground game looked solid. You know,
I don't know if we have a star potential, but I did something I do want to see against the elite of the elite, where I think Bellator has the star in McKee. You know,
yeah, Bellator has a start. Bellator has a star in McKee, and but like you said, it'd be just imagine if they fucking, you know, just came together and said, you know what, let's do some cross promotions. Let's just have one big.
That'd be the dream event.
Let's just have one big event on a Saturday. Sell that shit for 150 pay per view.
Why not just share the revenue?
A couple fights here. Fucking make it 5 fights for one night.
Yep.
But cross promotion and sell that shit for $100, $120.
Champion
People
goes
are
champion.
gonna buy it. People will buy that shit.
I don't buy much, but I'd buy that.
But I'm saying that shit would be that'd be the most amazing thing, and you leave the fans wanting more.
Exactly.
And then it doesn't always have to be champion versus champion. You could do the headliner, a champion versus champion, and then just a couple little, you know, here and there. A Sean O'Malley versus an Aaron Pico.
Yeah.
You know?
Who's the best up and comer, right?
Right? You got a fucking, you know, there's fights they can
There's
easily
dream
make.
matchups, man. We don't have to
There
people
is.
know, but it's the fight game, and it's run by rich, obsessed people who don't like to be wrong, who don't like to see their fighters lose. It's definitely the pride thing again.
Exactly,
kicking
pride.
in. So the UFC did it. When they see a competition enough, they'll buy you out. They'll never co-promote. Remember, they had the chance to sign Fedor. They want to do Fedor versus Brock. I don't know if you were a fan back then.
No, I don't think
Fedor
so.
was the king of the heavyweight world to people who knew MMA. He was never signed with the UFC. He was the king, but he always wanted a co-promotion. He wanted his company to be headlining, and the UFC would never co-promote. So they never got him, and then eventually he got old and all this shit. But
Well, he's
the
fighting.
UFC will never co-promote. Out of Dana's mouth, Zerayan will never be a co-promotion. They always just pay the money to buy them out. Hopefully they get a good fighter. But just like in boxing, man, it's hard to get the two biggest names always to
Exactly.
fight. The fight game is never going to be how the fans will never win.
Exactly.
You know?
And so, yeah, you have a good point there where you're saying is like, does PFL, are they satisfied with the outcome, or are they bummed out because it could go either way? You know, it could go to the point where Ray Cooper he's seeing this shit and he's probably like, all right, the organization thought they could bring some fucking former UFC, former Bellator dude that they thought was going to come and clean the division, and he went out there and fucking demolished him.
Yeah.
And so now he's either the guy that's going to be like, you know, well, I want more money, or I'm out.
Yeah.
And PFL's got I mean, in the PFL world, they got to start.
Yeah.
Outside PFL, they got an up-and-comer that could, you know, do some damage and could put on some good fights. But overall, Cooper,
I think we're going to see what Cooper really is. Is he a guy who's just in it for the money? Or is he a guy who's training out of his garage, realizes, man, he's legit. He just beat one of the top welterweights in the world.
A former,
you know what I mean?
Former champion at Bellator.
Former top contender.
Fought for the belt.
Rory all I think he finished Rory, man. Rory wasn't the same after those wars.
Against Robbie?
Against Robbie, yeah.
Against Robbie, yeah. He wasn't. They both weren't the same after those wars.
They finished both of them, man.
Yeah.
Those wars are no joke.
And do you have the PFL fight card on there? No, this is it. The Rory McDonald versus Ray Cooper one.
I got it right.
All right, who was the fight before him?
It
was that Russian cat
and a black dude.
Russian. Oh, and then Magomed, something like that.
Last name and then Sai.
Sai came in.
Dude.
Yeah, and he was a step in because he was the number 5th ranked.
Yeah.
So the actual number 1 ranked dude pulled out.
Yeah, I was wondering where number 1 was at.
Yeah, that's when I saw it. I was like 4 and 5. It's supposed to be 1 and 4.
So who was the number 1?
I don't remember who the number 1. See if you can find who the number 1 ranked for the welterweight was, because that dude, that Sai guy, was he was the replacement. And Magomedov won that fight or whatever. I'm gonna just call him Magomedov. These Russian cats have too many weird.
Every
names.
time I see a last name like that, I'm like, okay, is he related to Khabib?
And so I mean, his fight didn't look too impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude stepping in on, like, I don't know how long of a notice it was, but I mean, they were hyping this Russian cat up, saying he was gonna,
Yeah.
When I hear Russian, I just automatically think Khabib, Mullen, and that's it, But it didn't seem that way with him.
No.
So I think what I saw from Cooper, I think Cooper easily beats this guy too.
Yeah, I think so as well.
The stand-up game, the ground game, he looks better, and I think he wins it all.
And it comes to the point where the PFL, man, if it's Cooper loses, then they're kind of screwed in that division because we can't even pronounce Russian dude's name.
Yeah,
and he didn't really have any kind of star or kind of like, oh man, the UFC wants to come grab you. And
yep, I think they need Cooper to win now because he's a name. He speaks English. He's got the swagger.
Yeah.
He's a Hawaiian. I mean, he's got it all.
Is he like half black, half Hawaiian, or is he like a full Hawaiian?
I think he's full Hawaiian.
So, would you say what number 1?
We don't know who number 1 is.
It's showing it's him.
Who, Cooper? Cooper was 2.
Oh no, we're talking about the other fight though.
The Sai and
that's Sai, because he stepped in for someone. I just can't remember who it was, but the other fight that was on that night was the 2 guys that beat Anthony Pettis.
Who won that one? The Utah guy?
No, a lot of people felt like it was a robbery because the other dude won by split decision, but people thought it should have been what's his face Collard, but I mean,
João Zeffirino.
He was the PFL.
He was going to be number 1, right?
Sadly, Bao Sai replaces João Zeffirino.
Yep, that's
Was he a Brazilian dude?
So he sounds Brazilian. Clay Collard versus how do you say his name? Rausch Manfio, Brazilian dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, I watched the whole fight. I thought honestly Clay Collard won that fight.
Yeah.
I think he had the better performance. So in my eyes, I felt like he for sure won the first 2 rounds. The third round was, could have gone up in the air. Manfield seemed like the more aggressor in the third round, but I don't know how the judges, it was it's one of those things again where the judges are, making bad calls and they ruin the whole.
Yeah, hopefully they didn't get the judges from the Sandhagen fight.
That's probably who they got, my guy. That's probably who they got.
I don't know, man. MMA judging, it's a hard thing to do because what are you looking for? Who just had the most dominating position on a fight that really didn't go anywhere, or who went in there to try to win the fight? Who went in there to always try to look for the finish? I don't know, man.
It's weird.
I don't know where we're gonna go with MMA judging because this 10-9 plus system to me it don't work.
It doesn't. It's too close. Sometimes they fuck shit up. I mean, what can you really do though? Honestly, with the judges, how can you fix it? I mean, I've heard a lot of people complain about the judging too, but I mean, what's the solution towards it?
Yeah.
The other fight for that one was Loic Radzakabov versus Alexander Martinez, and Loic won that fight by split decision as well.
Oh, a lot of split decisions. Huh?
So Loic versus Manfio is the
lightweight final.
In the lightweight final, and that's gonna be, and this is the shitty part. Their championship fights is gonna be on a Wednesday in October. A little rough. I don't know why they went with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably that weekday where no one else has nothing to watch.
Well, I mean,
they didn't go for Thursday because of the NFL. That's why.
Oh, okay. And then
That's
Friday.
a smart move because no one's gonna choose the fight over the NFL game.
I might.
No, I know we
Oh.
are. You know, but there's people who like to watch the fucking Jags versus the
Eagles.
or the Eagles. Hey, but we might get Deshaun. So
I don't know. After all these other allegations coming up, yeah, I don't know about that
there's
now.
some good massage parlors in Philly, bro.
I don't know, my guy. I don't know. Overall, good PFL fight card. Honestly, I mean, it was just the 4 fights for the to advance. You know, they put on prelims. You know, just some fun fights, just to, you know, get you
One thing
more.
that the PFL has in their advantage, man, is the production. Oh my god!
You know who hates it though?
Who?
Eric's idol.
Who's that?
Eric idolizes this guy to the moon and back.
Who's the guy?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan hates it?
Joe
That's
Rogan.
because he works for the UFC, bro.
Joe Rogan hates that whole thing where it says leg strikes, punches strikes, takedown.
Does Joe Rogan hate the ref cam?
I'm pretty sure he does too.
The ref cam's awesome.
The
bro.
ref cam's
Especially
out,
when
yeah.
you get knocked out, you get to see exactly what the ref gets to see. Bro, when someone gets choked out, you get you're watching what they're watching.
What they're watching,
so
exactly.
maybe like if there's like a controversial like stoppage or something, or the guy got put to sleep and we're like,
you get to see from his point of view why he stopped
it. was awesome, man.
I think
I
think
love
it's
the
cool.
production.
I think it's cool. I like that whole. They're counting the leg strikes, the arm strikes, the takedowns. They're counting that because if you're an average Joe, you're seeing that and you're like, oh wow, this guy's he's got more leg kicks. Yeah. Oh, okay. And it gives the fans a better perspective of what they're seeing, what's going on. But I mean, Joe Rogan hates it.
No, we don't care what Joe thinks.
No, man.
It's a top-notch production, and the fact that the UFC hasn't adopted
if you ever
any
want
sort of it.
If you ever want to be on the Joe Rogan experience, you have to agree with Joe Rogan, man. Tell them.
No,
say that it's not
I
that
guess
great.
we're never going to be on the Joe Rogan experience. But let me tell you something, bro. Once Bruce Buffer is done, because I love Bruce.
Oh, Bruce.
He's the best.
Who's taking over?
Lillian Garcia, bro.
Exactly.
It's not even a joke how good she is.
Oh,
bro.
she's got the voice.
She gets you hyped.
She's got
she does it all, bro. Like the UFC can, Bruce is.
They can enjoy. They can
Bruce
enjoy.
Is getting up there in age,
but don't doubt. Once Bruce is done, they're calling Lillian and they're about to give her a fat payday.
I'm sure Bruce is still fucking a lot of baddies, bro. But a heart
that's
attack.
all he does.
A heart attack can come out of nowhere. You know he's using that shit to keep it up, bro.
Oh yeah,
he wastes 100% of his energy announcing these fighters. And much respect to him.
He wastes 80%, and then the other percent when he's with the ring girls.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think PFL's got, like you said, they got a good production team. The cameras, the ref cams are dope. I like that. But yeah, like you said, I think the thing that's hypes you up is Lillian Garcia. And the reason I think me and you fucking love the shit out of her is because she was announcing our favorite wrestlers when we were young,
Eddie, Latino, he
she. And then when she would say Guerrero, she'd throw that hard R, Guerrero, And so you're like, oh shit, she's perfect,
bro. She is absolutely.
So
perfect.
when they announced, the PFL is signing Lillian Garcia to be their announcer, I was like, oh, that's a perfect signing because she's already got it. You don't have to think, oh, how's she gonna do? From the moment I knew she was gonna be perfect, she was gonna fit the role because of her, her past experience in WWE, but. I mean, obviously, maybe a lot of people don't know, but I mean, I'm pretty damn sure a lot of people know who she is.
I wonder why Vince let her go. Why did Vince let her go, man? Is Vince just getting old, bro?
Vince getting old. I mean, it's just a new era. It's softer now.
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of these, I mean, I saw earlier that they released like over 20 wrestlers. They released like over 20 wrestlers. Did you ever watch WWE, Eric? You watched WCW, huh?
I was more of the WCW fan.
You see that's where now I know why you love Joe Rogan and Goldberg so much.
Why?
They have one thing in common.
What's that?
Pelones.
Shut up. What I grew up with and I liked it. I was a big fan of it.
I never. I mean, it seemed like WCW was always on cable, right?
Yeah, and that's the other thing is because when we would get babysitted, that's what my uncles would watch. Is WCW.
I think I remember going to grandma's house a couple times too, and they had WCW, and that's when I watched it, and that's when I first was exposed to WCW. Yeah. I was like, what is this trash?
Yeah,
because to me it was trash because I was so used to WWE, you know. Yeah. And so I was like, what is this trash I'm watching? But it's actually cool.
Yeah,
I thought Goldberg had probably one of the dopest intros ever. How he's like, he has to have the security come and knock on his door, and then he kicks that fucking door open, walks out with like 10 security.
Yeah, and that's what made me love him is when he would come out and all the
little sparks are burning his body, and you're just like, oh man, that guy's he's a badass. Because if it was me, I'd be flinching, I'd be trying to run away.
Yeah, and then I mean, you know, from where we're from, we're kind of used to that as well because when we see our uncles or dads carrying the bull. And you know you're getting burned by the sparks, so that's what kind of connected with me, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah, so I asked why if you ever watched WWE, just because if maybe you knew who Lillian Garcia was, but like you said, you were more into WCW. I think their announcer was a dude, right?
Yeah, like I said, it was a long time ago, and it was like two dudes that would hype it up. At least the commentators would
just lift it. Yeah,
and that's what I liked about it because it would hype it up like crazy.
Yeah, Eric was more a WCW guy.
Yeah. Is that the NWO era? I was all into that shit.
Yeah, man. I never watched WCW because it was always on cable TV, so I never got to actually watch Monday Night Raw. I always watched the SmackDown one because SmackDown was always on like local channels and shit. And then we got the CW.
Raw was on
and
USA
Raw was
TV.
on USA forever. Yeah. And then we finally got cable, and I was like, oh hell yeah, we're about to watch Monday Night Raw. Yeah, those are the good old days, and that's why Lillian Garcia was perfect for the job. And so I think that's where PFL. I mean, obviously the UFC has got him beat with Buffer.
Yeah,
obviously he's got him beat with the fucking talent, but their
production, their cam angles, their introduction.
It's high quality. It's good.
Yeah, it's really good shit, man.
That's what I'm saying. I really do think,
and ESPN is running that. So,
and I really do think PFL has surpassed Bellator. They might not have names.
Yeah, they don't have.
But I
names,
think
for sure
they are surpassing them.
Yeah.
In the quality production, in the way they promote the shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's all over the place, bro. The first time I seen Cooper was just like on Snapchat when you're just like flipping through ESPN and all that.
Yeah, the little stories.
Yeah, those little ads that come in between stories.
Yeah, I think PFL's on their way to be a good promotion. I mean, obviously we don't hear a lot of One Championship. I mean, I haven't heard anything from One Championship since I think Mighty Mouse got beat.
Yeah, since Mighty Mouse got beat, and then Alvarez got beat twice.
That was the last time I heard anything from One Championship. Let's go ahead and jump into, I guess, the organization that does not know how to promote Bellator. And honestly, the only thing I know,
watch the fight.
I didn't either. So the only thing I got to see was just the Gegard Mousasi fight,
and it was quick, right?
It was
first
quick
round finish.
No, second
round finish.
I swear it was the second round because I watched the first round and the.
Okay.
Because what's Stater? Stater's that was his name? Is that what you
Salter.
Said? Salter. He took him to the ground in the first round. And then in the second round,
it was actually a third round TKO.
Okay. Yeah. But so obviously Mousasi 48-7 and 2. So 48 wins, 7 losses, and 2 no contest.
He's a champ.
Earned a TKO finish at 2:07 of the third round via unanswered strikes on the ground. 36-year-old veteran weathered early grappling heavy approach from Salter before dominating them from top position.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was obviously the Bellator 264 headliner. I mean, obviously Mousasi is a big name.
No respect for Mousasi, bro.
Mousasi beat Rory McDonald because remember when Rory McDonald came to Bellator and he thought he can go and fucking win 2 belts?
He took him apart with the elbows, remember?
Yeah, he dominated Rory. And now it's fucked up because Mousasi's a big name.
Yeah, bro.
A big name.
Bellator, he only has 1 loss in Bellator against Rafael Lovato Jr., and it was a majority decision. So it's probably one of those where it could have gone either way. And then he ended up getting stripped of the title. And then ever since then, he beat Machida, he beat Lima, he beat the Salter cat.
Oh, yeah, he beat the Douglas Lima.
He's beat them all, bro. He's even in the UFC, he was always a top dog, but he's just one of those that always gets slept on. And even in the UFC, he was beating everyone on his way out. You remember Uriah Hall hit him with that flying knee It was kind of just like a
luck
knockout. But other than that, bro, he ended his UFC run on 6 straight wins. You know, and he beat Uriah Hall again, like on his way out.
And that's the thing. Who knows how his relationship was with UFC? Maybe there was a rocky relationship.
Oh, he wanted to get paid.
He wanted to get paid?
He wanted to get paid. Bellator paid him to.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously, at the end of the day, you're going to go where the money's at, you know? Bellator paid him some good money. And now they got this next upcoming fight, they got to find a way to promote the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Because this next fight is going to be a good one. He's defending his belts against none other than Mr. Paige Van Zandt, Austin Vanderford.
Why not?
I mean, this kid is 11-0 in professional MMA.
Yep.
I don't know what his record at Bellator is, but I mean, I think it's like 5-0. But this kid's come a long way. He's number 3 ranked contender in this division, and he's a solid kid. He can throw down. He can take you to the ground. Plus, aren't you going to tune in just to see what Paige Van Zandt's doing in the corner? I mean, you want to see that.
Oh, she's cornering even?
She comes out with him. She corners him. Just like he cornered her when she got her ass beat by Rachel Austin. And
did you see who Bare Knuckle signed?
Yeah, I told you that last week, right? You told me directly as soon as I told you he should go fight Paige Van Zandt.
Oh, yeah.
We had a few calls from people saying that was fucked up.
Oh, shit. Was it?
But, yeah, that's a good fight right there, though. Is Austin Vanderford versus Gegard Mousasi, because that's a challenge. I think that's a challenge. And this fight kind of has that McKee Pitbull written all over it for me. I get those vibes because Austin Vanderford.
I haven't seen the kid fight, so I don't
Austin
know.
Vanderford has that potential to be a champion.
Yeah.
And I mean, if he does it, that's fucking awesome. You know, you got a young, hungry kid.
I think that's what Bellator wants at the end of the day. They got what they got out of Mousasi already.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, he's not done. I mean, I feel like he's still.
How old is he?
36.
That's it?
I think he's 36.
Yeah, 36 from Iran.
Yeah, 36.
He got some more on him for sure. God damn, bro.
So this is my
57 fights. Much respect to Mousasi.
This is a question that I was going to ask you. Who would you, if you're the UFC and you had to sign 2 guys, who would you rather sign? Gegard Mousasi, Rory McDonald, and why?
Mousasi for sure. Rory, I think he's on his way out.
He's on his way out.
Mousasi for sure, but if I'm the UFC, the number 1 guy on my radar is McKee.
Is AJ McKee? Yeah, obviously that's their number 1 guy. But I think AJ McKee should really consider just defending his title a couple times and maybe giving Pitbull a rematch. And if he can beat him again,
Pitbull really deserves a rematch.
He deserves it just because of how long and how dominant he was of a champion. But you give him a couple title defenses, maybe 1, and then you give him the rematch. And if you can successfully beat Pitbull one more time, you shut everyone else that thinks that it was a fluke. It was just a lucky thing. Yeah. And then if UFC is calling, fuck it, just go. But you don't want to
go. As long as they're paying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because the other guy that I feel like, is going to probably be heading to the UFC pretty soon is going to be Michael Venom Page.
Yeah.
He says that he wants to get this win over.
I haven't seen him fight a legit guy.
He hasn't. Yeah. The last legit guy he fought is the guy who he's going to fight next, Douglas Lima. And what did Douglas Lima do? Slept him. And he's going into this fight because, remember, we were doing the show once on a Friday night, and we had the Bellator fights in the background. And
when Homegirl was fighting, that's why I'll never forget it.
Oh, yeah. Michael Venom Page was fighting before her, and he knocked the guy out. Remember, he broke his nose, and we had Eric and Ruben in the back screaming and hollering because they just saw something nasty.
Yeah.
Well, he's fighting these no-namers, man. Yeah. I mean, let's just say he beat Douglas Lima. He's not going to beat the likes of Masvidal, Kobe Covington. He's not going to beat Usman, Leon Edwards.
Yeah,
he's not even going to beat a Michael Chiesa, dog.
He reminds me of Edwards, if anything.
But Edwards has been fighting the top names.
I mean, that's the difference with these cats at the UFC. They're fighting big names. Chiesa just lost to what? Was it Vicente Luque?
He does have the body of Edwards, so I can see where you're saying that, Eric. But he hasn't.
His skin tone as well.
Yeah, it's a black lengthy thing, huh? We know what kind of porn Aaron was watching.
But I just don't think I don't think he can hang with the top dogs in the UFC, honestly, bro.
I don't think so either.
And AJ McKee, he's saying that they asked him, like, out of these three, they asked him Holloway, Volkanovski, and Ortega, because those are the top three right now.
Yeah.
They asked him, like, like, who do you, who sounds more intriguing to you? How do these outcomes, how do they go? He says that the only guy that actually gives him a challenge is Holloway. And it might be because of the stand-up.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Max Holloway is probably the best boxer in that division. He said he got choked out by Brian Ortega when they were 19. I don't know if it was like outside competition, maybe grappling, maybe. And Volkanovski, people sleep on Volkanovski, but Volkanovski beat Holloway twice, back to back,
and they weren't like dominating.
But I mean, regardless,
it was still a win. I'd give him the dub.
I mean, the second one, maybe I'm a little more like I'd give it to Holloway, but the first one was a dominant.
Yeah,
like that was more towards Volkanovski. Yeah, but I mean, and Brian Ortega, I mean, he lost to Holloway. He missed close to 2 years?
Almost, yeah.
2 years?
That's a good thing, bro. He's young.
Yeah. So, but that's before that. I was worried because I was like, what's going on with him? Like, did this shit just fucking destroy him mentally? And then he comes and fights Korean Zombie, and he looked incredible. Okay, so I think his stand-up game improved in that Zombie fight because his stand-up game was 10 times better.
Yeah.
So I really don't know how I feel about McKee fighting these top three. I'd like to see him fight Pitbull one more time.
Yeah.
Because Pitbull probably got a little too emotional in the presser. He let that shit talking get to him, And so now I want to see how he comes out more relaxed, more controlled, doesn't let the trash talking. Because he literally went out there like an Aldo. And he got
but that's the thing. Unfortunately, in this sport is ruthless and it'll pass you up in a minute.
Yeah.
Bro. So I think since he's in Bellator, there's not much names there to give him. I think the Pitbull fight is the obvious fight to make. But man, this sport will pass you up in a minute. So it's like the UFC needs to look forward to the future. And I think McKee is just another signing that can just take him over the top.
Yeah.
It's a risk. With MVP, the same thing. What do they lose from signing MVP?
No, they don't.
They're going to put him
anything.
against stand-up dudes. Bro.
They don't
They're not going to
anything.
put him against a wrestler right away. They're going to get what they want out of him. And then, hey, if he becomes something, wow, what a victory. If not, bro, just throw him on the side just like they do any other fighter.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. I'm not hating on it. I just don't think they can compete with the top dogs. But I guess
get into the event next week.
Yeah, let's get into next week's event because
it'll be a real quick one because I think there's only obviously the main event, and then I see the co-main event has Guida.
Yep. Main event: Jared Cannonier versus Kevin Gastelum.
Yep.
And then the co-main event: Clay Guida.
Yeah.
Who's old as shit,
bro. I've always, whenever I see Clay Guida's name, I get a little smile on my face because he's the reason.
Yeah.
Him and Diego
Mark
Sanchez.
Madsen, who's 10-0. So they're using him as a stepping stone possibly for this dude.
I don't even know if he's a stepping stone now.
The one I'm excited for is the flyweight fight that's going to open up the main card is Alexandre Pantoja and Brandon Royval. That one is going to be fireworks.
Yeah,
I think that one's going to be fireworks. That one has potential to be fight of the night, and they're opening it up with a banger. And then after that, you probably got a couple fights where Vink Pitchell versus Austin Hubbard, never heard of him. Mana Martinez versus Trayvon Jones, never heard of him.
I've never heard of him.
Parker Porter versus Chase Sherman, never heard of him.
But the main question of this card, bro, is if Kevin Gastelum loses, are we talking about a cut already? Because we need to go and take a look at Kevin Gastelum's last fight.
Year. He lost to Robert Whittaker in decision, but he beat Ian Heinisch.
But it was an ugly win. But bro, fuck this year. Since he got his title shot against Adesanya right here, bro. He got his title shot UFC 236 against Adesanya.
He
lost it. What a fight, right? What a fight. That brought his stock way up here.
And that's what he should have fed off of.
Yeah, but we're talking about he's lost 4 out of his last 5 fights. Are we at the cutting range yet?
No, you don't cut him yet because he's been stepping in. Remember, the first fight he stepped in, he was in a fight. Who did he fight? Oh, he stepped in for Paulo Costa against Robert Whittaker.
Yeah.
Okay, Jared Cannonier is supposed to fight someone else. Guess who stepped in?
He's supposed to fight Costa.
Costa? Yeah, guess who stepped in? Gastelum. So I don't think you cut him if he loses this fight. You give him one more fight.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing to do. But if he wins
against Jared, right back up there?
I think so. I mean, who would you give him? Do you make it? Do you make the Costa versus Gastelum fight?
I would, man. What the fuck
Costa's
is Costa
fighting soon.
doing?
Costa's fighting soon.
He's fighting already?
I think he's fighting. I'm not even too sure who he's fighting, but yeah, I don't see who he's fighting, but I think yeah, you can't cut him, honestly, bro. You can't. Gastelum is you were hyping him up because he eats purple tortillas and shit.
Bro, have you seen his motherfucking on the stove, bro? She is true Mexican.
You were hyping me up about he's like, no,
Canada's 5. Yeah, if he beats 5, I mean,
what's Gastelum?
He's 10, bro.
Okay, so he beats 5.
He lost to Till. He's lost to Hermanson up there. So he's even taking a step up.
Oh, yeah. That's how could I forget?
That guy is still fighting. Vittori's still fighting.
How could I forget your favorite fighter?
I thought he was playing soccer in the Italy team, bro. I thought he was coaching the Italy soccer team.
Costa versus Vittori. Give him the loser of that one. If
Costa we don't need to talk about that fight.
All right. But I think that's
I think it's just another diluted card, man.
It is. I mean, it's good to watch these cards because some of these guys are up and comers, you know, like this Vink Pichel is only 13-2, you know, he throws on a performance out there. It gets you, excited to see what he's capable of doing. But this card opener, Pantoja versus Royval, that's a fight. I'm telling y'all, watch that shit. And if it's if it's not a fucking good fight like I'm claiming,
we'll call you out.
Call me out.
We're gonna watch it for you. But we gotta also see that football's coming up, bro. So
it's preseason. No one's watching that trash.
You know who's watching it?
Who?
Is Jordan Love, bro. When is Aaron Rodgers getting traded, bro? Because Jordan Love looked legit.
He didn't even trade it after we win the Super Bowl. I already said it. I called it.
Last dance.
I called it. This is the last dance. He's gonna win a championship. He's trying to bring all these old cats that have no relevance in the NFL anymore.
You see his
yes, he wants to bring Clay Matthews,
bro.
Homeboy hasn't done shit.
He's bringing back to he's also in the Kanye with the 808s and Heartbreak.
He's
bro.
not. He's obviously he's obviously not on a team for a reason. The Randall Cobb, maybe I get it a little. Maybe he'll have a moment here and there.
See, I didn't think the Randall Cobb was such a big deal, but the reason it was a big deal, I guess, is because of the salary cap hit they take. He's overpaid.
And we just got this rookie we drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
What was his name? Mari Rogers, I think.
Yeah, from Clemson.
Kid looks legit. Why not fucking give him a
you heard
chance?
the GM, right? They did it to make Aaron happy.
Aaron,
the homie's got to get paid too, bro.
What?
He's taking care of his homies.
And what if we don't win shit? He fucks up the whole organization.
He's on his way out, bro.
I hope they trade him to one of the worst teams ever.
But no, for real,
if that happens.
Did you see Jordan Love play at all?
I didn't.
He looks like a quarterback.
But I watched the highlights.
Did you see
I watched the highlights.
He looks like a legit guy.
When you told me he was trending on Twitter,
yeah,
I saw the two trending stories. I saw Jordan Love trending, and then I saw Biden impeachment or impeach Biden, and I clicked on that one first before I did the Jordan Love one. but I did check the Jordan Love. He has some beautiful throws. He does.
Like, let me tell you something.
And I did see some memes, though. I did see some memes where they're like Chicago Bears fans realizing they got to deal with another third generational quarterback.
Yeah, bro. Because I see like someone like Zach Wilson, the number 2 pick from BYU. He doesn't look like a quarterback.
He doesn't.
I saw Jordan Love. He looks like a quarterback.
Okay.
I see Tua. I don't see a quarterback. I see fucking the dude from Chicago, that Justin Fields. He looks like a quarterback, bro.
Looks like a quarterback.
So,
all right, let's finish this UFC, if anything, and then we can get into some NFL because I feel like we have a lot to talk about in the NFL right now as we do. Anything else that intrigues you in this fight? Does Jared Cannonier get the win? Who is next for him? Do you think he gets the winner? I mean, is he up there for a title shot if he wins this fight?
Name-wise?
He hasn't fought.
Yeah, name-wise, I don't think so.
He hasn't fought Izzy.
Yeah.
Remember when Izzy, I can't remember what fight Izzy was coming off of, and he said, I've literally ran through the division. I'm rooting for Jared Cannonier. Who was that fight? He lost that fight. He's like, I'm rooting for Jared Cannonier because that's the guy I haven't fought. Was it against Robert Whittaker? Okay. Yeah, he lost to Robert Whittaker in 2020, and he said, if Jared Cannonier beats Robert Whittaker, he's next. I want him next.
And he didn't. He ain't the boss. He'll probably fight the winner of the one fight we don't want to talk about.
No, I think if that's the case, I say give him a title shot.
I see.
If Izzy beats Whitaker, give Cannonier the title shot.
I don't see why you don't.
But if it's Whitaker that wins the title shot, then maybe give him the winner of Vittori and Costa.
Yeah.
But this division is looking a little, it's interesting.
It's interesting, but it's also almost getting to that point where Izzy's about to wipe everything out.
It does. It does seem that way, and so I think he might be making his way back to light heavyweight.
Another challenge.
I don't
know if I want to see him and Jan again though.
Well, maybe take the
Anderson Silva route where you fight maybe not the top guy and you fight someone in the top 10.
And then maybe fight for the belt after that, just to give yourself a little, put your foot in the water a little, test yourself, test yourself a little. Do you want to give a prediction on this fight then? What do you got, Jared Cannonier or Kevin Gastelum?
I think I got Cannonier, but I want Gastelum to win, man. I don't want it to be over.
I got Kelvin Gastelum winning by some sort of submission on the ground.
If he's eating purple tortilla tacos before the fight, he'll win, bro. For sure.
That shit's gonna give him chorro halfway through the fight, bro. Purple tortillas.
No beans. Skip the beans.
People are listening. They're gonna listen to this shit and they're like, purple tortillas. Oh, is he talking about the Taco Bell Doritos Crunch shelled? That's what people think when they hear purple tortillas.
I didn't even know they had a purple.
Well, I don't know if they do, but they have a blue and a red one, I think.
Yeah, the Cool Ranch.
Cool Ranch, and then the Dorito nacho cheese.
The flaming hot ones.
I don't know, man. Just thinking of Eric's over there in the background, just because he hears Taco Bell and he doesn't know it's Taco Bell. He knows it as Chorro Bell.
Yeah. What gives you more chorro, Beto's or Taco Bell?
I'm not a fan of Beto's, but I have been craving the carne asada fries lately.
I've been craving a California burrito in the mornings, bro. Back to my fat boy days, like my 300-pound days. Bro, I used to, on my way to Skag.
Treat yourself.
Bro, I've been thinking about that California
Treat
burrito.
yourself, Keen.
It's
go ahead.
Fucking bomb with the salsa. And said you're going to make about 5 trips to the shitter that day if you eat it.
Hey,
who knows? Maybe they got some new cooks.
Maybe it's cleaning the system out.
Yeah.
If you're shitting that many times after a burrito, it's just cleaning the system out.
Yeah.
Consider it a fluid wash,
Dude, you know what? Is that nigga Ralph would eat 2. He would eat 2 of them. And then he was so bad, bro. He would buy the tortillas from Beto's and then fucking put peanut butter on them and eat another 2 fucking tortillas of peanut butter. And so like seeing that made me realize, bro, I don't want to be that big.
Bro, seeing him push himself in the warehouse like this made me
Did you see the ground? Bro, when someone's that big where they make an indent on the ground, bro, he's lived there.
All right, man, we're getting off topic now. Someone's gonna tell him we're talking
Own your space. Own your space, big guy.
All right. NFL. Let's get in a little bit of the NFL real quick, and then what rookie quarterback impressed you the most out of
so preseason week 1? Remember, no overreactions, right? But
we got what? Trevor Lawrence. We got
Trevor
Justin
Lawrence,
Fields,
Zach Wilson,
the
Justin Fields. We saw Jordan Love for the first time.
Kid from San Fran. What's his name?
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance, and then the kid from Mac Jones.
Mac Jones from New England.
Okay, who impressed you the most?
Well, I guess it has to be Justin Fields, man.
Justin Fields, right?
He went out, had a rushing touchdown, had a passing touchdown. But
then they asked him too, how did you feel out there? He's like, did the NFL feel faster? And he's like, no, it felt slow. Yeah. So but I'm thinking to myself, bro, you're not fucking facing the top dogs yet. You know, it's preseason. They're just testing you right now.
But it's one of those eye tests, because when I first saw Carson, I was like, man, this dude can play. You know? And I get it, man. People fucking hate Carson Wentz right now. But when he came out as a rookie,
Eagles fans hate Carson Wentz.
I don't hate Carson. I'm an Eagles fan. I don't hate. You hate Carson Wentz?
Hell no.
I wish that we would have figured it out, bro. I wish he would have had more support. We'll see what he is this year. He could be injury prone, could be a bust. You never know. But when you see a quarterback, it's just an eye test, right? He can't be too small. He can't be too fragile, you know. So, and the 2 people who impressed me the most, I was seeing Jordan Love and I was seeing Justin Fields, bro. Those 2.
Yeah, I was real impressed with Justin Fields' performance, especially because he threw for 1, ran for 1. kid looks like he's made for the NFL, honestly. And I feels like Chicago.
I think Chicago's regretting that QB1 tweet. Did you see that QB1 tweet when they signed Andy Dalton?
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
Oh, you have to go up to their Twitter. Just Google QB1 Chicago Bears. When they signed Andy Dalton, they released a picture on Twitter, and it said QB1, and it was a picture of Andy Dalton.
Oh.
His leash has to be the shortest leash. Right.
No, well, Andy Dalton, it seems like they have a good little relationship in Fields because I saw a video on Twitter where I think Dalton started the game, probably.
You see that? When was the date of that tweet? March 24th, though. They signed Andy Dalton. They promised him the QB1 position. They even tweeted it out for him.
The top comment and delete this. Ratio.
I think
he'll throw an interception and the coach might be forced to bench him.
I saw the moment that he went and told Justin Fields, "Hey, you're going into the game now." And they shared a little moment, because I think Andy Dalton knows he's on the way out. He's a stepping stone. He's just a guy that's he's the veteran experience.
I think you have to accept that you might be like a Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? Why has Ryan Fitzpatrick lasted so long in this league?
Because he's willing to take that little. He's willing to be there and kind of be a supporting cast for these young incoming quarterbacks.
And if you're the guy, you're the guy. If not,
then, if you're not, then he comes in and guy, right? Because it seems like he strives in those situations. Fitzpatrick,
that's what I'm saying.
When quarterbacks are garbage,
he's done it everywhere, bro.
He's about to do it in Washington.
That's what I'm saying.
He's about to do it for the Redskins.
I think
my bad. National. What's it called? Washington football team.
Remember,
we
can't be racist, bro.
Yeah, we might be canceled.
Cancel culture, bro.
That's a bitch.
Well, my whole thing is, why haven't they came up with a new fucking nickname?
Because everything is fucking racist.
Cleveland just came up with theirs.
What's theirs?
The Guardians, the baseball team.
They should have just kept the Cleveland Indians.
Is that not religious? How do they?
Oh yeah, that's
religious, bro. I'm offended.
I'm offended. Yeah, I'm offended. I'm coming from a Catholic household. That's offensive, bro.
Like, you can't fuck it with our Angels like that.
Yeah, man, that's disrespectful.
And while we're at it, the Los Angeles Angels, that offends me too.
Fuck, that does. You know what? You're making some good points now.
Look, I might not go to
Philadelphia Eagles offend me.
I might not go to church, but I identify as a guy who goes to church. And
the Eagles. The eagle is this country's sacred creature. And why
my team is sacred?
You guys are trash. But so what do you want to get into anything else in the NFL? Like, do you want to make some predictions? Do you want to save that for?
Oh, we kind of went deep in this MMA for not having nothing to talk about,
A lot of little just shit talking on poor Bellator, ranting on poor Bellator, if anything.
I know.
Do you want to just maybe save our predictions for like the week before the NFL starts? Like, we can predict division winners and shit like that.
Maybe MVP. We'll have a show.
Oh, Roger's going MVP back to back.
I think we need to dedicate an episode to NFL, man. It's a big thing. So
it's religious out here in the United States.
For all
of our listeners all across the world, you guys don't understand, but the NFL is religious on Sundays. We don't go to church for that reason.
We just got some breaking news.
What?
Speaking of NFC East, Giants linebacker T.J. Brunson out for season for torn ACL.
It's the first big injury. Damn. Hey, they're coming, bro. Who else is going to be out? You see Carson. They're saying Carson is protected.
Jordan Love had an MRI on his shoulder.
Already?
This morning.
Dak. Remember I told you about the Dak thing. Did you see?
Irv Smith is freaking out. He's saying that whatever he thinks it's serious. Like, it's bad.
I'm telling you, bro.
They think it's bad.
Dallas had a tweet out. It's not.
If you haven't drafted in fantasy, I probably wouldn't draft any Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. But we can get into a little bit of NFL in the upcoming weeks. Yeah. Maybe if we need to, we can dedicate it one day. We can do 2 shows in 1 week where we just go NFL one day and then
regular I think MMA. We can go hard on NFL one because we can have a full episode with fantasy and just predictions. And let us know if you guys want to hear that. Bro.
Let us know. Yeah,
it's a big deal, bro. It carries a lot of shows.
Just go on our, like we said, go on MCETV.net. That's where you'll find all of our shows. You'll find your favorite show, the No Knowledge Podcast, up there. You'll find Liberator with Eric and Jesse, where they talk political, anything trending in the political world. I know they're for sure going to have a lot to talk about Wednesday. We ain't leaving Afghanistan anytime soon, boys. If anything, we're sending more troops. So if you have an 18-year-old son, start giving him kisses because he's on his way out. And
we pulled the troops.
What?
I thought we already pulled them.
You're way
They
behind,
sent, they
son.
sent 3,000 just to bring the other ones back. Supposedly.
They needed to send 3,000 to bring whatever we had left
How
over
does
there.
that make sense?
No, we ain't leaving, son. Who took over the Taliban?
Taliban just took over today.
The Taliban just took over their.
I thought we were saying
No, they literally made their president flee.
They had the helicopter like Vietnam. Remember when Vietnam left? They had the same exact thing with Afghanistan. The helicopter just dipping, trying to grab all the troops that they could get.
Oh no!
Getting the hell out of there because the Taliban came in and fucking took over the office.
They already declared one of the Taliban leaders as the new president of Afghanistan.
Oh my God.
So yeah, Eric and Jess, you're gonna go off this Wednesday, right? Wednesday's when you record. Wednesday on Liberator, man. There.
Tune in.
Why do you think Eric has that voice? Like he's concerned because he's ex-military. He knows what's what's coming.
Are we concerned as Americans?
Be concerned.
This guy, you hear the tone of his voice? Are we concerned as Americans?
Eric, this is what I'm concerned about. Is on the 15th, is my child income credit check still coming in?
I don't know. I'm gonna ask Biden.
On the 15th, bro, is that check coming in? Then I ain't concerned.
Yeah, so
Might be coming in, but the Social Security might be going down.
Liberators Wednesdays, check those guys out. They get deep into that shit. And then our news show, I think he's three episodes in now. Nard knows, he talks a lot of sports. He goes into depth with a little bit of everything. Soccer, football, basketball, everything. And then obviously us, the best podcast in the world, No Knowledge Podcast. Obviously just comment, share, interact with us. I know we're not going live, and I think a lot of people enjoyed the live one better because we got to go live. But we might start doing something where we might go live once a month, and hopefully we get interaction that way. And if not, then just keep interacting with us through the website. Also, we got our article sections there. There's a lot of good articles on there. Variety of articles, from fucking what's trending in pop culture to political to sports. So check us out there, and then just like I said, just comments and share. Give us feedback. At the end of the day, that's what we want.
Let us know what you want to hear.
Yeah,
man.
let us know if you think we go too long. Let us know if you think we should go longer. We'll try and lay off the brewskis.
But like Connor says, we owe no apologies, bro.
Yeah, and if we offend you, then I'm sorry. But I mean,
then go listen to DC and that trash.
Yeah, go listen to trash if you want, But we speak truth on this podcast.
No edits.
No edits. Yeah, we literally have no edits. One of us has to go take a piss. We go take a piss, and you probably didn't even realize Danny was missing for a little bit.
Yeah, bro. They almost put the missing sign.
But thank you for tuning in to this week's episode, and we'll be back next week with another stacked show. Peace.
Hey guys, this is Jesse Valdez, Jesse V with Media Crossover MCE, and today we are going to take a little bit of a look at how you can get 100,000 plus rupees in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch. This is my personal Switch account. If you guys want to add me, go ahead. Friend code SW0508 3878 5680. I'll also tag that onto our page so you guys know. Looking for friends. Alright, so let's go ahead and go into the game. Got Mario Kart too, so that would be sweet to add you guys on. So as you can see, I have 101,000 rupees right now, so I basically can just buy out everything and be satisfied. I mean, arrows. I mean, we're looking at some good stack numbers, correct? And so this is how you do it. Is we're gonna go ahead and map ourselves. So right now I am located in the northwest region at the Hebra Tower. That's where you're gonna want to warp yourself. So once you warp yourself, or if you haven't unlocked this area, you have to make sure that you also have the particular clothing. It's really cold over there, so you can buy that stuff at Rito Village. Just make sure that you're prepared to go out there. That way you're not losing hearts while you're playing this game. So we'll warp there. As you can see, I'm already warped there. And all you really have to do is jump down and go to a place called Pondo's Lodge. You'll see this guy, like, what is he doing? Building a snowman? So, we'll talk to him. I'll ask, if you want to play a game, it's basically bowling. And I'm going to show you guys a trick on how to do that. So usually, I mean, he gives you money, but if you want to rack up money, you're going to have to get strikes. So here's the most simple way to get these strikes. It takes a little critiquing, but once you get it down, you're going to be making money in no time. You'll probably be, I'd say at a consistent rate, you can make about 10,000 rupees in an hour. Even less, probably. So go ahead and pick this up. As you can see, Pondo is going to come over here. If you can get directly behind him, you know, hold Z, helps you out. And then move like maybe 2 small clicks on the joystick to the right. Press A, and hit the Z button again so your guy kind of moves away from the snowball while it goes. And then, look at that. Instant strike. So what does that mean to hit 10 pins in the 10 pins at once? It's a strike, right? Also means that you're gonna get a reward. And here's the reward. So you gotta click through this. Wow, 300 rubies? Holy cow, now I'm up even more. So let's continue playing. And yeah, like I said, you gotta critique this. He'll take 20 rubies from you. Wow, no big deal, right? Not if you're gonna give me 300 of them. And you continue. Every now and then you might miss, you know, and then you can get a spare. He'll still give you 100, which isn't bad, right? It's still better than what you started out with. So about right there. See, right there, I knew I messed up. So let me go get it real quick. You'll figure out when it's a mess up and you're just going to want to restart over. So, I'm going to say about right there. Okay, that looks good. Bam, another strike. And you get rewarded. It's a really easy way. I mean, it's not the only way to make money, but it's definitely probably one of the easiest ways to make money. Look at that. Look where I'm at now. I am racking up points just by playing this. Like I said, it takes a little critiquing. I'll show you one more time. And sometimes you will miss. Sometimes you'll miss. I mean, it happens, but just pick up the ball and restart over, or finish it and play again. So you want to get directly behind Pondo, right, as your starting point. And after that, just maybe 2 clicks to the side. Hit the Z button again so you don't hit into the snowball. Looks like it's going to be pretty good again. Almost close. I probably almost could have missed right there. You could see that just the slightest turn will, you know, make the snowball go somewhere different. So it will take some learning. It's a learning curve, but once you get it down, you will be making money in no time. So that's an easy way to make some money, guys, on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Please make sure to follow our page MCE Media Crossover on Facebook, facebook.com/media crossover or @media crossover, and you'll find us really easily. If you have any tips or strategies for Zelda that you want us to share, or even any other game that is worth mentioning, go ahead and leave us a message or even something in the comment box below. We would love to get your guys' input and feedback on things. Thanks for watching. I'm Jesse Valdez, and I'm plugging you into everything that matters.
My name is Antonio Montoya. I'm 31 years old. I've been boxing since I was about 11 years old when I had my first amateur fight. Boxing is my family. My family's been a part of boxing. Grandpa used to run the amateur association back in the days. My uncle was the first guy from Utah to make it onto the USA team. So boxing's in our blood. To me, boxing's life. You gotta not only make sacrifices from your family, but sacrificing sacrifices from eating what you want, drinking what you want, putting yourself through hell so that the final outcome can be great. You gotta kill yourself before you get to the ring. The night of the fight's the easy part, but getting yourself ready for the fight is the hard part. You got all your conditioning training, all your running, all your sparring, all your weight training, all your bag work. You know, out of boxing, I've gotten a lot of discipline. Discipline is the biggest thing. And, you know, you got passion for something, you know. I'm never gonna lose my passion. I'll be 50 years old and wanting to step back in the ring again.
This is the most important one, right? There you go.
It's been 4 years since I've fought my last professional fight, but I want to give it one last shot. If you want to see a great night of fights, come to the complex November 3rd, you know, and get ready to see a great show.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Leonard Davis Jr., and in my third episode, I'll be breaking down the latest and greatest in sports, from the NBA free agent frenzy to why things are getting a little messy with Lionel Messi, and football is back. So sit back, pop a squat, and relax as we laugh and learn, and of course, don't forget to share. Welcome back to Nard Knows. So let's kick off with what's happening in the soccer world. This is the biggest news that I've heard thus far. Mr. Barcelona is no longer a part of the Barcelona Soccer Club. Lionel Messi is no longer continuing his legacy with the club, as they could not figure out how to get those contract issues to where he could stay with the team. Now, in case you didn't realize, this is big stuff. FIFA World Player of the Year to multiple European Golden Shoe Awards. He is the most decorated footballer known today. This is like Tom Brady leaving the Patriots. This is like The Rock leaving wrestling to act. Or Will Smith not wearing a fake mustache pretending to be Uncle Phil to bail Ashley out from getting in trouble in school. Roll the clip.
That's a fake mustache.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Nonetheless, the Spanish Football League will never be the same as Messi is reported to sign with PSG. Take a listen as he breaks down during his press conference to say his final goodbyes to the fans of Barcelona.
I'm so grateful for all the love everyone's shown me during these years, because I've had some such great moments here as well as some bad ones, but the love people have shown me has always been the same.
Now, let's move forward to what's happening in the NBA, as most of us is looking forward to seeing which free agents are gonna go where. And of course, it never disappoints and gets us hyped for the next season to come. Chris Paul re-signed with the Suns for $120 million. Kyle Lowry joins Jimmy Butler on a 3-year deal. Lonzo is surprisingly headed to Chi-Town for 85 M's, joining Zach LaVine and fellow newly signed member DeMar DeRozan. After a rough season, Mike Conley will look to redeem himself as he resigned with the Jazz. And let's not forget what the Lakers have been doing, as Melo has joined the team on a 1-year deal. And in a trade that sent Kyle Kuzma to Washington, Mr. Triple-Double, Russell Westbrook is definitely ring chasing as he signed with the club. The bulk of this roster is definitely players at the tail end of their career, to say the least. The men's U.S. basketball team takes down France as many question if they would even made it this far. This one went down to the wire, led by Kevin Durant and Damian Lillard. KD with 29 points, Jason Tatum helped second in scoring with 19 of his own. France was no pushover, keeping it competitive all the way to the very end. Hell of a performance, anchored by Evan Fournier and Rudy Gobert with 16 points each. Shout out to France for making it that far, so close to gold, and fulfilling Kobe's prophecy that the other countries were going to come hard. So USA, don't get comfortable. On the flip side, USA's women's basketball team is kicking butt as usual as they take down Japan in a hyped finals round. 51 straight years, the women's basketball team has qualified for world play. This game almost went down to the wire as Japan was shooting 3 after 3, keeping Asia Wilson and company honest until the fourth quarter. Led by Brittany Griner's 30-point performance, Breanna Stewart adds to her legacy with the gold medal. While this is nothing new to the greats like Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi, USA takes down Japan to savor another moment tasting gold in one of the greatest dynasties today. So what else is happening in the NFL these days? Well, Aaron Rodgers is back in Green Bay and he got his man Randall Cobb back. Over there in Indianapolis, the Colts are down their QB1 as Carson Wentz will be out 5 to 12 weeks as he hurt his foot in training camp. Not to mention, football is officially back though, and that's something we have to look forward to as the Hall of Fame game starring the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys did not disappoint in a much hyped Hall of Fame game. Najee Harris impressed me most as he didn't get a lot of playing time, but he made his reps count, breaking through tackles and showing that he belonged. The Cowboys' first-round pick, Michael Parsons, made an early impact with 3 tackles and this fumble recovery. The Cowboys' offense ultimately suffered as, of course, in every preseason game, not many primary starters will play. The Steelers' passing attack, however, impressed, including this big catch by Chase Claypool, showing that he's already in mid-season form. That was definitely a pretty good play. Steelers D showed up making plays with 3 turnovers. There were a lot of missed field goals in this game, which definitely kept the preseason vibes alive. Colin Balazs with this touchdown of the evening, toting his way into trying to earn a spot on the team this season. Fourth quarter brought a nice pass for a touchdown by Joshua Dobbs to Tyler Simmons. Steelers edged Cowboys 16-3. Now concluding the Hall of Fame game, that weekend the Hall of Fame ceremony took place as the likes of Peyton Manning and Calvin Johnson, just to name a few, took stage to receive their gold jackets. That list of 2021 inductees included Charles Woodson, Michigan alum, Raiders, Packers defensive back, John Lynch, famous safety for the Bucks, Alan Faneca, guard for the Steelers, Drew Pearson, wide receiver for the Cowboys, Tom Flores, head coach of the Raiders and Steelers. Also, due to the pandemic last year, no ceremony was held for the 2020 inductees, whom were all able to take stage and give their speeches rightfully earned, which included Miami Hurricane Adrian James, Best Show on Turf member, wide receiver Isaac Bruce, and hard-hitting Steeler great Troy Polamalu, just to name a couple. If you didn't catch those Hall of Fame speeches, I definitely recommend you go and take a listen, as they were definitely inspiring and much needed for those young athletes that are up and coming that see themselves in those Hall of Famers' shoes. Now, moving to my next segment, where the preseason is very much alive, and there are a lot of players who are fighting for those roster spots. In this segment, I like to call the shoulds and the should nots, where there are definitely some players who should start, and there's definitely some players who should not be starting over certain players. Here's my list. Starting with Justin Fields, I definitely believe that he should start over Andy Dalton. Of course, they said that he would be taken over as the #1 quarterback when they signed him, coming from the Dallas Cowboys. But after getting Justin Fields, I believe that he should get the keys to the Cadillac. He's their #1 overall draft pick, and why not go ahead and get him started? They're a franchise that need to start winning some games to show promise for the future. So why not start Justin Fields over Andy Dalton? Ronald Jones, the running back for the Buccaneers, I feel he should be starting over Leonard Fournette. Many has projected Leonard Fournette to start over Ronald Jones, and he showed that he can get the job done in limited action. No shots to Leonard Fournette, but I just believe that if you start Ronald Jones and give him more reps, you'll be able to get more out of Fournette in the long run. Now for the 49ers, I think that Trey Lance shouldn't start over Jimmy Garoppolo, just because I think that Trey Lance is a bit of a project right now. He has been getting rave reviews on his performance so far in training camp, but I believe Jimmy Garoppolo deserves one more shot at winning the Super Bowl, which he was so close a couple years ago. And I think maybe they find a trade partner to get some capital for Jimmy next year. They definitely reported that Trey Lance will be playing this year, but I don't understand how that would happen if Jimmy is the starting quarterback. Now for players that should not be starting, that probably will get the nod to start, Teddy Bridgewater, signed to the Denver Broncos, is probably going to start over Drew Lock, but I think that Teddy should get his chance at this offense, since Drew Lock has proven that he cannot get that team over the hump, that has a good defense, that has good wide receivers, and a couple of running backs to run the rock. I believe Teddy Bridgewater hasn't had a fair shot at having a good offense that the Denver Broncos is supplying for him. But there's pros and cons to Teddy and Drew starting for them. We'll see how that plays out. A.J. Green signed with the Cardinals this year, but I think that because of his reputation, he'll end up starting over guys like Christian Kirk and the new rookie, Rondale Moore. A.J. Green's presence will probably stunt the growth of Christian Kirk and Rondale Moore, but I believe that as the season goes along, they'll get everybody involved in a much anticipated offense led by Kyler Murray. The New York Giants are in a similar dilemma as they drafted Kadarius Toney, first-round pick out of Florida. And I think he'll definitely take some of Sterling Shepard's reps. And to be honest, rightfully so, especially with a disappointing season last year. I feel Shepard is probably on his way out the door after this season, as Toney is clearly his replacement. But we'll see how this shapes out, as Daniel Jones needs everybody to contribute to get these boys in the playoffs. Now, on this day in sports, in 2008, super swimmer, ultra famous Michael Phelps won his third of 8 gold medals in the Beijing Olympics. Phelps took home the 200-meter freestyle, breaking the world record in just under 2 minutes. Phelps was undeniably the best amongst his peers before the public criticized him for that ganja incident. Nonetheless, you can't take anything away from the Baltimore native, who was the king of pretty much every swimming event in the Olympics. Now in this segment, who did what? Vanessa Bryant finally settles her lawsuit against the helicopter company that owned the chopper that went down and took the lives of Kobe, Gigi, and 7 others. Of course, the amount is confidential, stated in her claims. The pilot did not properly check the weather before flying in, quote, extremely low, blinding fog, end quote. Ms. Bryant is clearly one of the strongest women, still holding it down to obtain justice for all those losses that day, including her own. While many of us are learning to cope with this devastating tragedy, she is still reliving it every day. My prayers will continuously go out to Miss Bryant and all those lives affected. The LA Rams and the Dallas Cowboys held a joint practice, and as the new season looms, tensions are flying high and fights are bound to break out. In this segment, I like to call, I'ma tell your mama on you. During the play, the trenches got extra regular as Cowboys lineman Connor Williams got into a tussle with Aaron Donald. Williams held his own though after this DDT he tried to give Donald before teammates came running to jump into the action. I just hope neither player got hurt as both are high value starters. But I'ma tell your mama on you, Aaron Donald, for bullying men big enough to be P. Diddy bodyguard. And I'm definitely telling your mama on you, Connor, for allowing Aaron to flip you like an iPhone scammer. Both of y'all need y'all asses whooped. Speaking of butt whoopings, I'm officially in 3 fantasy leagues this year, and I'm about that action as I'm excited to get this year fantasy leagues going. But despite my participation in leagues, I'm still giving out free game in this episode, dedicating the top 5 wide receivers that is bound to give you a winning roster. Starting out with a couple dynamic duos, Cooper Kupp is destined to have a career year with Matthew Stafford at the helm, and we all know Stafford got an arm and he got precision. Cooper Kupp has never had a quarterback like this, and it's gonna be an exciting season for the LA Rams. Speaking of the LA Rams, my number 2 wide receiver is Robert Woods. Like I said with Kupp, he is bound to have a career year too, with Stafford having 2 bona fide wide receivers who can get open at any point. Stafford has 2 guys that he can rely on, especially in those third down situations. Going over to the San Francisco 49ers, Deebo Samuel has a lot to prove this year, as the potential has been there, but the stats and the production has not. Deebo Samuel is bound to have a breakout year, and quite frankly, he needs one. He's one of those wide receivers that can do it all, and that big body of his will make DBs think twice about tackling him. On the flip side, Brandon Ayuk had a pretty good rookie season. He showed sparks, but this year, he's bound to have a career year. The 49ers are a prime team to make a run for the Super Bowl, so look out for Ayuk if he falls in your lap. Going over to Carolina, the Panthers lost a weapon in Curtis Samuel, but I believe Robbie Anderson will take a lot of those targets. The deep threat speedster is bound to have a career year as well. Mark my words, with Sam Darnold ready to prove his doubters wrong, Robbie Anderson is a prime suspect to ball out in that Carolina offense. Some sleepers to keep an eye on, of course I'll throw a couple out there. Marvin Jones Jr. is now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with the Jaguars already having several weapons, Marvin Jones Jr. will be freed up with a lot of one-on-one coverages. And he'll probably face the second or third best corner on most teams, and he's going to eat those boys alive. In Buffalo, Cole Beasley is Josh Allen's go-to guy, especially in those third down situations. He proved it last year, and the man is bound to keep it going. Look out for Cole Beasley this season. Don't sleep on him. Now, of course, before I end every show, I give them their flowers before their final hours. And this year, I dedicated to a player that we all know, especially here in Utah, Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is the most underappreciated yet most efficient player in the NBA. This past season, Rudy was given his 3rd lowest amount of minutes since playing more than 50 games after his rookie year. Despite playing less minutes, he achieved his 3rd most points per game average in his career, 2nd most field goal percentage in his career, 2nd most in offensive rebounds, tied last year's defensive rebounds as his top performance yet, not to mention his best blocks per game average performance since he entered the league, earning his 3rd Defensive Player of the Year award this past season. Realize how much more dominant Rudy would be if the Jazz ran more offensive plays through him. Not to mention his pivotal role getting France so close to winning gold. When you look at France's success, Rudy was a major part in it. After another season where the Jazz was this close to winning it all. It's time to do something different next season, Coach Quinn. Pass the rock to Rudy. No more excuses. Let the games begin. And with that being said, thanks for watching another episode of Nard Knows. Be sure to visit MCETV.net for the latest shows and content like the No Knowledge Podcast every Sunday, talking sports, music, and just about anything they can debate on, or Stay Woke on Wednesdays with the Liberator Show, opening your mind and always having you questioning more. And how can I forget the Crossover Show that is known for its geek culture and getting you hip to the hottest tech. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share.
I follow one source, and it's the source.
Okay, I follow multiple sources.
MCETV.net. So if you want me to see it,
okay.
If you want me to see it, I better see articles or shows on it. So
just remember, winners write history.